Finding Your Voice as a Writer. Written by C.A. Mason. Published by Purple Fox Publications. Chapter 1. Embracing Your Unique Voice. Understanding what voice means in writing. Defining voice and why it matters. Imagine, for a moment, a lone cello in a vast concert hall. It's not merely the notes it plays, the mechanics of strings vibrating against wood, but the very soul that seems to weep from its depths. It's a singular sound, instantly recognizable, a fingerprint of the instrument itself. That, my friend, is akin to what we speak of when we talk of voice in writing. It is not merely the words, the grammar, the perfectly crafted sentences, but the intangible essence that breathes life into the text. It's the quiet hum of your unique perspective, the echo of your heart and mind resonating through every paragraph. Think of it like the scent of a familiar place, the sharp tang of pine needles in a forest you've wandered since childhood, the warm, yeasty aroma of your grandmother's kitchen, a sensation that instantly transports you. Your writing voice is that deeply personal sensory experience, a beacon that draws the reader into your particular world, into your particular way of seeing and feeling. It's the whisper of authenticity that dances between the lines, a captivating melody that distinguishes your work from every other piece ever penned. Why does it matter? Because in a world awash with words, it is your voice, raw, honest, and distinct, that will cut through the cacophony. It is the very thing that forges a connection, that invites a reader not just to passively absorb information, but to actively participate in the landscape of your inner world. It transforms simple text into an intimate conversation, where the reader feels not just understood, but seen. It is the magic that transforms the ordinary into the unforgettable. Without it, your words are but a vessel, empty and without breath. But with it, they become a living, breathing thing, capable of sparking emotion, provoking thought, and leaving an echo long after the final page is turned. Common misconceptions about writing voice. Like fireflies in a twilight meadow, the concept of voice in writing can often be misconstrued, twinkling with a deceptive allure that obscures its true nature. One common misconception is that it is a singular, unchangeable thing, a rigid mold into which all of your words must be poured, as if you're born with a single note to sing. But like the changing tides of the ocean, your voice is a fluid entity, capable of shifting and evolving as you grow and explore the boundless realms of experience. It is not a fixed star, but a constellation, made up of various elements that shift and shimmer with each passing moment. Another phantom that haunts aspiring writers is the belief that a good voice must be loud, dramatic, or overtly stylized, like a peacock strutting across a stage. That it needs to sound a certain way, conform to a preconceived notion of what makes writing valuable. This misconception can be akin to forcing a rose to bloom in the shade, trying to mimic a style that does not resonate with your own inner garden. The beauty of voice does not lie in its flamboyance, but in its honesty, in the quiet strength of authenticity. It is not about imitating others, but about fearlessly uncovering the cadence that belongs to you alone. Perhaps the most pervasive myth is that voice is something that you must find, like a hidden treasure buried in the sand, as if there is some secret map. This false notion suggests that it is an external entity detached from your own essence, when in fact, it's the opposite. Your unique voice is not something you discover, but something you allow to surface, something you gently coax into the light. It's already there, nestled within the core of your being, waiting for you to shed the layers of doubt and self-criticism that have obscured its delicate glow. It is not about seeking, but about releasing, like letting go of a tightly clutched fist to allow the seeds of creativity to bloom. It is not a quest, but an act of self-acceptance. How voice impacts reader engagement. Imagine a lone traveler wandering through a bustling marketplace. Each merchant hawking their wares with a similar, monotonous cry. The traveler's eyes glaze over, their attention drifting like a leaf in the wind. But then, a different voice cuts through the din. A voice filled with warmth and wonder, a melody that promises stories and enchantment. Suddenly, the traveler stops, drawn in by the unique cadence of that voice, eager to listen. This, in essence, is the power of voice in writing and how it impacts reader engagement. It is the invisible thread that weaves a connection between you, the creator, and them, the experiencer of your creation. When your voice is authentic and resonant, it is as if a gentle hand reaches out from the page, beckoning the reader into the heart of your narrative. It's not just about the information you impart, it's the way you impart it. Think of a campfire at night, the flames casting dancing shadows, the smell of wood smoke mingling with the cool night air. Your voice is the fire, the focal point that draws your readers close, captivating them with its warmth and light. It creates a sense of intimacy, as if you were sharing a secret, a deeply personal experience. The reader feels invited to not just observe, but to participate, to feel the echoes of your emotions, to share in your wonder, your sorrow, your joy. Without a distinctive voice, your words may simply lie flat on the page, like pebbles on a beach, each one indistinguishable from the others. They may convey information, but they will lack the vibrancy and life that captivates and holds a reader's attention. But when your unique voice shines through, the very rhythm and phrasing of your sentences can evoke powerful emotions. It's akin to a painter's brushstrokes, each stroke imbued with their unique style, each contributing to the overall effect. With each sentence, each paragraph, you draw the reader further into your world, making them invest not only in your story, but in your unique perspective. It's the very thing that transforms passive reading into active engagement, leaving a lasting impression long after the book is closed. Your voice is the key, unlocking the door to a deeper, more meaningful connection with your audience. Recognizing your current writing struggles. Identifying self-doubt in writing. Self-doubt, that insidious gremlin that lurks in the shadows of the creative mind, often arrives as a whisper, a tiny voice at first, barely audible above the clamor of daily life. It's like a shadow creeping across a sundial, obscuring the time, making you question the very purpose of your work. It may begin as a fleeting thought, is this any good? Like a single raindrop falling upon a parched earth. But over time, these tiny drops gather, creating a flood that threatens to drown your creativity in a sea of uncertainty. This self-doubt can manifest in a myriad of ways. Perhaps it appears as the phantom of the blank page, a white abyss that mocks your attempts to fill it with words. The cursor blinks back at you, a tiny, accusing eye, a constant reminder of your perceived inadequacies. Or maybe it takes the form of the internal critic, a harsh taskmaster who nitpicks every sentence, every phrase, finding fault in even the most carefully constructed passages, tearing apart what you've so painstakingly created. It is like a mirror reflecting only the flaws, never the beauty, never the potential. You might find yourself caught in a cycle of rewriting and deleting, endlessly tweaking, forever seeking perfection in the impossible. You hold your words up to the light, examining them with a critical gaze, searching for the flaws you've convinced yourself exist. It is a dance of creation and destruction, where each step forward is met with two steps back, each phrase you write followed by the quick erasure of doubt. Like a bird with clipped wings, your words are unable to soar, held captive by the weight of your own uncertainty. This self-doubt can feel like a heavy fog, obscuring the clarity of your vision, the natural rhythm of your voice. It's a thief, stealing the joy from the act of creation and replacing it with the bitter taste of inadequacy. Recognizing these subtle signs, the fear, the hesitancy, the constant second-guessing, is the first crucial step in breaking free from its stifling grip, the beginning of your journey back to the pure, unbridled joy of writing. Analyzing why you feel disconnected from your voice. Imagine a radio, once filled with the vibrant static of a distant personal signal, now fading into a whisper, barely audible amongst the cacophony of other stations. This is how it can feel when you are disconnected from your own writing voice. It's a sensation of something lost, a melody that once rang clear and true, now muffled by layers of static and interference. The question then arises like a persistent hum. Why does this disconnect happen? What silences the unique music of our creative selves? Often, The roots of this disconnection lie in the echoes of external expectations, like ghosts whispering in a darkened room. We may have absorbed the voices of others, teachers, critics, even admired authors, internalizing their style and judgments, unwittingly overlaying them on our own unique cadence. Like trying to squeeze our feet into shoes that don't fit, we attempt to mimic and emulate, losing touch with the organic rhythm that belongs to us. We begin to speak in borrowed tongues, losing the natural lilt and inflection of our own. Furthermore, the pressure to conform, to meet some imagined standard of good writing, can act as a silencer, a heavy blanket thrown over the spark of our own expression. Fear of judgment, like a lurking shadow, can make us hesitant to reveal the vulnerabilities and quirks that make our voice uniquely ours. We smooth down the rough edges, polish away the imperfections, forgetting that it is in these very irregularities that our true voice resides, like the unique patterns in a piece of weathered wood. We censor ourselves, editing before we even write, stifling the raw, unpolished expression that yearns to break free. The relentless pursuit of perfection can also lead to a disconnection from our voice. We become so focused on the technicalities of writing, the grammar, the structure, the elusive perfect word, that we lose sight of the emotional core, the very pulse of our creative expression. Like a gardener overly concerned with the arrangement of each petal, we forget the wild beauty of the garden itself. This obsession with correctness eclipses the natural flow of our thoughts and feelings, the very substance from which our voice blossoms. Recognizing these influences, the echoes of others, the pressure to conform, the pursuit of perfection, is crucial in understanding why the connection has been lost and how to begin the journey back to the resonant hum of your own authentic voice. Understanding the importance of overcoming these struggles. Imagine a musician, gifted with a melody that only they can hear, yet bound by chains that prevent them from playing it for the world. This, my friend, is the tragedy of a writer disconnected from their own voice, trapped by the whispers of self-doubt and external expectations. It's a symphony unplayed, a story untold, a wellspring of creativity dammed up, leaving behind a parched and barren landscape where once a fertile garden could have flourished. Understanding the importance of overcoming these struggles, then, is not just about becoming a better writer. It's about setting free the very essence of who you are. For when you are disconnected from your voice, your writing becomes a mere echo, a hollow imitation of something else. Your words lose their power, their spark, their capacity to move and inspire. Like a flower plucked from the earth, it withers, losing its vibrant color and its delicate fragrance. Your ideas, however profound, become flat and lifeless on the page, failing to resonate with the heart of the reader. They are words without breath, devoid of the soul that only your unique voice can provide. But when you overcome these struggles, when you break free from the chains of self-doubt and the echoes of other voices, a miraculous transformation occurs. Your words begin to sing, to dance, to resonate with a power and authenticity that was once dormant. Your voice becomes a beacon, a guiding light that draws readers into your world, inviting them to share in the beauty of your unique perspective. It is like a window thrown open on a long-forgotten room, letting in the fresh air of your unadulterated creativity. Overcoming these struggles is not simply about becoming a more skilled technician with words. It's about reclaiming your power as a storyteller, embracing the vulnerabilities that make your voice human and relatable. It is about daring to show the world the unique tapestry of your inner world, the beauty, the darkness, and all the shimmering shades in between. It's about finding the courage to step into the light, to share your truth, to leave your indelible mark upon the world. For it is only when you allow your authentic voice to sing that you can truly connect with others, that you can move them, inspire them, and leave a lasting legacy that echoes long after your final sentence is written. Letting go of perfectionism. How perfectionism hinders voice development. Perfectionism, that alluring yet treacherous mirage in the desert of creativity, often appears as a shimmering oasis of flawless execution. It whispers promises of immaculate sentences, of flawless prose, of works that will stand the test of time, leaving an unblemished mark upon the world. But like the shifting sands, it's a cruel deception, a siren's call that lures writers down a path of endless self-criticism and ultimately hinders the very development of their unique voice. It is a gilded cage, beautiful to look at but impossible to escape. The pursuit of perfection acts as a chokehold on creativity, a tight fist that stifles the natural flow of ideas. Like a gardener who insists on every bloom being identical, it suppresses the wild and untamed beauty that gives each voice its unique character. It forces you to write with a clenched hand, constantly censoring yourself, editing before the words even fully form on the page. The joy of exploration, the freedom to make mistakes, the willingness to venture into the unknown, all of these become casualties of this relentless pursuit of a non-existent ideal. When you are trapped in the grip of perfectionism, your writing becomes labored and stiff, like a marionette controlled by invisible strings. The natural rhythm of your voice, the unique quirks and cadences that make it distinct, are sacrificed at the altar of flawless execution. You become so preoccupied with avoiding errors that you lose sight of the true purpose of writing: to express, to connect, to share the unique landscape of your inner world. Your work becomes a sterile exercise in technicality, devoid of the warmth and vulnerability that give it life. Perfectionism creates a fear of imperfection, a paralyzing dread of making mistakes. It tells you that your first draft must be perfect, that every word must be precisely chosen, that anything less is a sign of failure. This fear makes you hesitant, cautious, and ultimately stifles the spontaneity that is so vital for the emergence of your authentic voice. It's like trying to paint a masterpiece with a single, trembling brushstroke, afraid to let the colors blend and collide in unexpected and beautiful ways. It is a whisper in the ear that tells you that you are not good enough, not yet, and that you never will be. This constant pressure to be flawless, this fear of the imperfect, becomes a heavy weight, keeping your voice from taking flight. Embracing mistakes and learning from them. Imagine a sculptor, hands stained with clay, not flinching at the accidental gouge or the unintended curve, but seeing within these imperfections the very seeds of new creation. So it is with writing. Mistakes, far from being signs of failure, are the very pathways to growth and the discovery of your authentic voice. They are like unexpected turns in a familiar road, leading you to landscapes you might have otherwise missed. To truly embrace the dance of writing, you must learn to see these missteps not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to learn, to evolve, and to uncover the unique textures of your creative self. Mistakes, in their own peculiar way, are the fingerprints of your creative process. They reveal the hidden pathways of your thoughts, the unique rhythms of your mind. They are the raw, unpolished stones that give your writing a sense of authenticity and life. Like the cracks in a well-loved vase, they add character, revealing the story of its creation, the history of its use. When you allow yourself the freedom to make mistakes, you allow your voice to be more spontaneous, more vulnerable, more true. You allow it to speak not from a place of fear, but from a place of raw, unbridled expression. Each error, each misstep is a hidden lesson, a gentle nudge pointing you toward a more authentic path. It's like following breadcrumbs through a darkened forest, each one guiding you closer to the heart of your creative spirit. When you analyze your mistakes, when you understand where and why you faltered, you gain invaluable insights into your own writing process, your strengths and weaknesses, and the unique way in which your thoughts are translated into words. This self-awareness is like a compass, helping you to navigate the vast and sometimes treacherous landscape of creativity. Moreover, the willingness to embrace mistakes frees you from the paralyzing grip of perfectionism. It allows you to write with more confidence, more fluidity, more joy. It's like taking the training wheels off a bicycle, allowing yourself the freedom to explore, to experiment, to discover the unique pathways your creative spirit will forge. You learn that perfection is an illusion, and that the true magic lies not in the flawless execution of an idea, but in the messy, beautiful, unpredictable journey of creation. Embracing mistakes is not an act of resignation, but an act of courage, a willingness to accept the imperfect beauty of the human experience and to allow your unique voice to shine through, flaws and all. Practical tips for shifting away from perfectionism. Like a ship slowly turning its bow away from a dangerous reef. Shifting away from the clutches of perfectionism requires a conscious effort, a series of small course corrections that gradually redirect your creative energies towards freedom and authenticity. It's not about instantly eradicating the desire for flawless execution. It's about creating a new inner landscape where the joy of exploration and the acceptance of imperfection hold sway. It's about transforming the harsh critic within into a gentle, encouraging guide. First, embrace the power of the ugly first draft. Think of it as the raw, unformed clay from which a masterpiece will eventually emerge. Allow yourself the freedom to write without judgment, without self-censorship, letting your thoughts flow onto the page like a river finding its own course. Don't worry about grammar, punctuation, or even making sense. Simply write, and allow your voice to speak without fear. It's like opening a door to a room you've long kept locked. The initial rush may be disorienting, but the air is fresh and full of possibility. Next, practice the art of timed writing. Set a timer for a short period, perhaps 10, 15, or 20 minutes, and write continuously until the bell rings. The time constraint will force you to release your grip on perfection, encouraging spontaneity and allowing your voice to emerge uninhibited. It's like freeing a bird from its cage. It may stumble at first, but soon it will find its wings and soar. Another valuable practice is to intentionally seek out feedback from trusted readers. Share your work, even when it feels raw and unfinished. Listen to their responses not as personal attacks, but as opportunities for growth, as another pair of eyes that may see aspects you've overlooked. It is like holding your work up to different lights, seeing new colors, new patterns that might not have been visible before. Learn to filter feedback, embracing what resonates with your authentic style and gently disregarding what feels incongruent. Finally, celebrate the small victories. Acknowledge every word written, every sentence completed, every paragraph crafted, regardless of how imperfect it may seem. Treat your writing journey as a process of continuous growth, a dance of progress rather than a quest for a static goal. It is like the gardener who celebrates every new sprout, every tiny bud, understanding that growth is a slow and gradual process. By shifting your focus from the elusive ideal of perfection to the joy of creation, you will gradually loosen the grip of perfectionism, allowing your unique voice to flourish with a beauty that only the embrace of imperfection can provide. This shift, my friend, is not the end, but a beautiful beginning to the unfolding of your true writerly self. Chapter 2. Discovering your personal style. Reflecting on what you read. Analyzing the writing styles of authors you admire. Imagine a wanderer traversing a vast library, each shelf a different landscape, each book a portal to another world. The air hums with the echoes of countless voices, each with its own unique cadence, its own distinct rhythm. As you journey through these literary realms, you'll find yourself drawn to certain voices, certain styles that resonate with your heart, leaving an indelible mark upon your soul. This, my friend, is the beginning of your quest to discover your personal writing style, a journey that begins with a deep and thoughtful exploration of the authors you admire. It's not about merely reading the words on the page, but about immersing yourself in the very essence of each author's craft, allowing their unique magic to seep into your consciousness. Think of it as an apprenticeship, where you are not just a reader, but a careful observer, a student of their artistry. Pay attention to the way they construct their sentences, the music they create with their phrasing, the emotions they evoke with their carefully chosen words. Like a detective piecing together clues, begin to decipher the secrets of their style, the elements that make their voice so compelling. Notice the way they use metaphors and similes, the unique ways in which they weave imagery and symbolism into their narratives. How do they create a sense of place? How do they portray their characters? How do they handle the pacing of their stories? These are the hidden gears and levers that power the narrative, and by understanding them, you gain insights into the very mechanics of their craft. It's like studying the constellations, learning to identify the individual stars and how they form the larger patterns in the night sky. Don't simply read for plot. Delve into the undercurrents, the subtle nuances, the hidden melodies that make their voices so distinctive. Is their prose lyrical and flowing like a river, or sharp and staccato like the beat of a drum? Is their tone whimsical and light, or somber and profound? Do they prefer long, winding sentences, or short, punchy ones? What emotions do they stir in you? By understanding these elements, you begin to understand the intricate tapestry of their voice. And in doing so, you begin to glimpse the possibilities that lie within your own. This careful and thoughtful analysis is not about imitation. It is about inspiration, about learning from the masters and using their example to discover the unique contours of your own creative spirit. Identifying common themes in your reading preferences. Imagine yourself standing before a vast, shimmering sea, each wave a different story, each ripple a unique perspective. As you gaze across this ocean of narratives, you'll notice certain patterns emerging, certain currents that draw you in, certain waves that leave you breathless. These currents, these patterns, are the common themes that echo within your reading preferences, subtle signposts pointing toward the hidden pathways of your own creative spirit. They are like constellations in the night sky, guiding your journey through the vast expanse of literature. It's not just about the individual stories you enjoy, but the deeper currents that run beneath the surface. Are you drawn to narratives that explore the depths of human emotion, tales of love, loss, and longing? Or do you prefer stories that delve into the fantastical, tales of magic and wonder, journeys into the unknown? Perhaps you find yourself captivated by stories that challenge societal norms, tales of rebellion and transformation, explorations of the human condition at its most raw and authentic. These common themes are like echoes, resonating with the unique melody of your soul, revealing the landscape of your inner world. Think about the worlds you most love to inhabit when you read. Are they worlds of sprawling forests and starlit skies, where the magic of nature holds sway? Or are they bustling cities, filled with the cacophony of human activity, where the drama of life unfolds in all its complex glory? Perhaps you are drawn to the quiet corners of history, the forgotten tales of lives lived long ago. These worlds, these settings, are not merely backdrops. They are mirrors, reflecting your own unique tastes and desires, revealing the hidden landscapes of your creative imagination. Furthermore, consider the types of characters that capture your attention. Are you drawn to heroes who embody strength and courage, or to flawed individuals who wrestle with their demons? Perhaps you are drawn to characters who are outsiders, individuals who march to the beat of their own drum, who challenge the status quo and dare to live authentically. These characters, these figures that populate the landscapes of your imagination, are not just fictional creations. They are reflections of your own values, your own aspirations, your own unique understanding of the human condition. Identifying these common themes is not just an act of literary analysis. It's a journey of self-discovery, a quest to understand the unique contours of your creative soul. Understanding how your reading influences your writing. Imagine a seed, small and unassuming, buried in the rich soil of the earth. As it grows, it draws nourishment from its surroundings, sunlight, rain, minerals, gradually shaping itself into the unique form of the plant it is destined to become. In much the same way, your reading is the fertile soil in which your own writing voice takes root, the essential nourishment that shapes and influences its unique development. It's not simply about passively absorbing stories. It's a profound exchange, a subtle dance between your imagination and the voices of the authors you encounter. The words you consume become a part of your creative DNA, shaping the rhythm and melody of your own prose. Like a musician learning from the masters, you unconsciously absorb the nuances of their style, the way they craft sentences, the unique turns of phrase they employ. These influences, like subtle echoes, gradually seep into your own writing, enriching its texture and adding layers of depth and complexity. It's like a painter learning different techniques by observing the strokes of past masters, allowing those techniques to become a part of their artistic toolkit. The books you read become landscapes in your mind, shaping your understanding of the world, the range of possibilities that exist within the realm of storytelling. The characters you encounter, the worlds you explore, become a part of your creative lexicon, influencing the way you perceive human nature and the way you structure your own narratives. These influences are not always conscious. They operate at a deeper level, like a hidden current that shapes the direction of your creative flow. Furthermore, the emotions you experience while reading, the way a story can stir your heart or ignite your imagination, can profoundly impact the emotional resonance of your own writing. The landscapes of joy and sorrow, the mountains of triumph, and the valleys of despair that you visit as a reader all leave their mark, shaping the emotional palette you draw upon as a writer. It's like inhaling the fragrances of 1,000 different flowers, learning the unique essence of each one, and allowing those fragrances to infuse the stories you tell. However, it's important to remember that this influence is not about imitation, it's about transformation. Your reading should not be a cage, trapping you in the echo of another voice. It should be a springboard, launching you into the boundless realm of your own creative possibilities. It is not about becoming another author, but about finding your own unique expression, the singular voice that only you can bring to the world. Understanding the way your reading shapes your writing is not just an exercise in analysis. It's an act of self-discovery, a quest to understand the unique ingredients that contribute to the unfolding of your personal style. Exploring different writing styles, examining different tones, structures, and genres. Imagine a musician, not content with mastering a single instrument, but eager to explore the vast orchestra of possibilities, from the soaring melody of the violin to the deep resonance of the cello, the rhythmic pulse of the drums to the ethereal whisper of the flute. In much the same way, discovering your personal style requires a willingness to explore the boundless spectrum of writing, to experiment with different tones, structures, and genres, allowing your creative spirit to roam free across the literary landscape. It's not about finding the one right way to write, but about discovering the unique terrain where your voice truly resonates. Think of tone as the emotional color palette of your writing, the specific hue that shapes the reader's experience. Is your tone lighthearted and playful, like a summer breeze dancing through a meadow? Or is it somber and reflective, like the quiet stillness of a twilight sky? Perhaps your tone is sharp and satirical, like a razor's edge cutting through pretense, or warm and inviting, like the glow of a hearth fire on a cold winter's night. By experimenting with different tones, you discover the emotional range of your voice, the varied spectrum of feelings you can evoke in your readers. It's like a painter playing with different colors, discovering the nuances of shade and light that can transform a canvas. Structure, on the other hand, is the architecture of your writing, the blueprint that shapes the flow and rhythm of your narrative. Do you prefer the long, winding sentences that meander like a river through a forest, or the short, punchy sentences that snap with the force of a sudden thunderclap? Do you prefer the traditional three-act structure, or do you enjoy experimenting with more fragmented and nonlinear forms? By playing with different structures, you discover the unique way in which your voice can be expressed in the spatial dimension of a story. It's like a sculptor exploring the different forms clay can take, discovering the shapes that best express their vision. Furthermore, exploring different genres is like embarking on journeys to different lands, each with its own unique customs, landscapes, and rhythms. Stepping outside the familiar confines of your comfort zone, venturing into the realms of science fiction, fantasy, mystery, romance, or historical fiction can expand your creative horizons, exposing you to new possibilities and perspectives. It's like trying new foods, discovering new flavors and textures that enhance your understanding of the culinary world. By embracing this exploration, you don't necessarily need to find a home in any one, but rather sample the entire buffet of creative possibility. This experimentation will unlock the hidden depths of your unique voice and help you discover the most authentic forms of expression for the stories that only you can tell. Trying out various writing techniques to see what feels natural. Imagine a dancer, eager to discover their unique style, not simply mimicking the steps of others, but freely moving their body in 1,000 different ways, exploring the rhythms that feel most natural, most true to their inner self. In much the same way, Discovering your personal writing style requires a willingness to experiment with various writing techniques, to play with words like a child plays with toys, discovering the hidden possibilities and unlocking the unique rhythms of your creative voice. It's not about forcing yourself into a predetermined mold, but about allowing your voice to find its own organic expression, its own unique dance upon the page. Think of writing techniques as the varied tools in a writer's workshop, each designed for a specific purpose, each capable of crafting different effects. Try your hand at crafting vivid imagery, using sensory details to create a tapestry of sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and textures that transport your reader into the heart of your narrative. Experiment with dialogue, allowing your characters to speak in their own distinct voices, revealing their personalities and motivations through the way they interact with each other. It is like a craftsman trying different kinds of wood, discovering which is best suited to their individual skill and the unique purpose of their creation. Explore the power of metaphor and simile, creating unexpected connections between seemingly unrelated objects, adding layers of depth and meaning to your writing. Try using different narrative perspectives, experimenting with first person, second person, and third person narration, discovering which allows your voice to speak most authentically and compellingly. It's like a musician experimenting with different instruments, discovering the unique timbre and resonance that most closely aligns with the inner melody of their heart. Furthermore, allow yourself to play with different sentence structures, experimenting with the rhythm and flow of your prose. Try your hand at both short, staccato sentences and long, winding ones, discovering the unique impact that each can have on your reader. Explore the use of repetition, the way in which certain words and phrases can create a powerful sense of emphasis and rhythm. These techniques, when used with intention and care, can become the very brushstrokes that define your unique voice, the essential elements that make your writing stand out from the rest. It is the experimentation that will ultimately reveal what truly feels natural, what unlocks the hidden potential of your creative spirit, and allows your unique voice to take flight, soaring upon the wings of its own organic rhythm and expression. Identifying elements that resonate with your personality. Imagine a craftsman, surrounded by a workshop filled with an endless array of tools and materials, carefully selecting the ones that feel most comfortable in their hands, the ones that best align with their unique skills and the vision they carry within their heart. In much the same way, the journey of discovering your personal writing style is a process of identifying the specific elements, the tones, the structures, the techniques that resonate most deeply with your personality, with the unique tapestry of your inner world. It's about allowing your authentic self to emerge, to find its own unique expression upon the page. It's not just about what you can do, but about what you love to do, what feels natural and effortless, like a song that has been waiting to be sung. Pay attention to the moments when your writing feels most alive, most vibrant, most like an authentic expression of your own unique spirit. Are there certain types of sentences you find yourself gravitating towards? Do certain kinds of metaphors and similes come more easily to you than others? Do certain types of characters and settings ignite your imagination with a particular kind of spark? These preferences, these subtle inclinations, are the clues that will guide you towards your own unique style, the personal signature that sets your writing apart. Consider your natural inclinations, your personal tastes, the things that ignite your passions, the themes that preoccupy your thoughts. Do you tend to be drawn to the fantastical, to the realm of myth and legend? Or are you more interested in exploring the mundane, the quiet dramas that unfold in everyday life? Are you naturally drawn to humor and satire, or to more serious and contemplative modes of expression? Do you have a tendency towards the lyrical, the poetic, or do you prefer a more direct and straightforward approach? These tendencies, these inherent characteristics, are the very foundations upon which you will build your unique style. It's like a gardener noticing the plants that naturally flourish in their particular environment, choosing to cultivate what thrives most naturally. Furthermore, pay attention to the emotions that your writing evokes in you. Do you feel most alive when crafting vivid imagery, when allowing your senses to paint pictures with words? Or do you feel most connected to your voice when exploring the depths of human emotion, when laying bare the vulnerabilities of your characters? Do you find yourself most engaged when creating intricate plots, or when crafting lyrical, impressionistic prose? These emotional signposts are invaluable indicators, showing you the way to your most authentic expressions. It is within these resonant points that you'll find your personal compass, the directions that will guide your journey towards finding your authentic voice. Discovering your style is not about emulating someone else. It's about amplifying the singular melody of your own soul. Defining your writing values and beliefs. Reflecting on what matters most to you as a writer. Imagine a cartographer, charting not just the physical landscapes of the world, but the inner terrains of the human heart, carefully noting the values and beliefs that shape their perspective and guide their hand. In much the same way, defining your personal writing style requires a profound introspection, a careful reflection upon what matters most to you as a writer, the ideals and principles that lie at the very core of your creative identity. It's about understanding the deeper purpose that fuels your writing, the unique message that you yearn to share with the world. It's not just about what you write, but about why you write, the driving force that gives your words their power and purpose. It's like a compass, not guiding you towards a fixed point, but giving you the true north that will help you align your writing with your deepest convictions. What are the themes that you find yourself returning to again and again? What are the issues that ignite your passions, the injustices that trouble your conscience, the truths that you believe deserve to be illuminated? These core concerns, these central preoccupations, are the foundation stones upon which you will build your unique style, the underlying principles that will give your writing its depth and its enduring resonance. Consider your role as a writer in the world. Do you see yourself as a storyteller, a weaver of dreams, a creator of worlds? Or do you see yourself as a social commentator, a chronicler of the human condition, an advocate for truth and justice? Perhaps you see yourself as a poet, a conjurer of beauty, a seeker of deeper meaning. These different roles are not mutually exclusive, and they all offer distinct paths through which you can make an impact. Understanding your personal values helps you navigate this complex landscape, allowing you to write with intention and purpose. Furthermore, reflect upon the values you wish to embody through your writing. Do you value honesty, authenticity, and vulnerability? Do you believe in the power of empathy, compassion, and understanding? Do you strive for beauty, clarity, and precision? Do you see art as a means of social change, as a way to challenge assumptions and expand perspectives? These values, these guiding principles, are not just abstract concepts. They're the very threads that will weave together the fabric of your unique style, the unspoken promises that you make to your reader. Defining what matters most to you as a writer is not a mere exercise in self-reflection. It's a profound act of self-definition, a declaration of the artistic principles that will shape your writing journey. It's like a sculptor choosing their medium, knowing the precise form and texture that will best capture the essence of their vision. How your values shape your voice. Imagine a river, its course not determined solely by the landscape it traverses, but by the hidden currents that pull beneath the surface, the invisible forces that shape its direction and its flow. In much the same way, your writing voice is not simply a product of technique and skill, but is profoundly shaped by the values and beliefs that run deep within you, the unseen currents that guide your words and give your writing its unique trajectory. Your values are the invisible hands that shape the very clay of your sentences, imbuing them with the unique texture of your spirit. It's like a lighthouse, guiding ships through the storm. Your values act as beacons, shaping the overall tone and direction of your narratives. If you value honesty and authenticity above all else, your writing will likely be characterized by a raw, unfiltered quality, a willingness to expose the vulnerabilities of your characters and to explore the complexities of human experience without flinching. If you value justice and equality, your writing may be a call to action, a plea for compassion and understanding, a powerful critique of the status quo. Your values are the heart, the very core that pumps life into your words. The themes you choose to explore, the characters you choose to portray, the messages you seek to convey, all of these are shaped by your underlying beliefs, your deeply held convictions about the world and your place within it. If you believe in the power of imagination and the wonder of the unknown, your writing may be filled with fantastical imagery, with journeys to otherworldly realms, with the celebration of the boundless potential of human creativity. If you believe in the importance of connection and community, your writing may focus on relationships, on the bonds that unite us, on the struggles and triumphs we experience together. Furthermore, your values will shape not only what you write, but also how you write. If you value clarity and precision, your writing may be characterized by a direct, economical style, a focus on conveying your ideas with the utmost efficiency and grace. If you value beauty and lyricism, your writing may be rich with metaphor and simile, with sensory details that create a tapestry of images that stir the reader's soul. Your style becomes a living embodiment of your beliefs, a unique expression of the values you hold dear. It is in this way that your values become the hidden architects of your voice, infusing it with the unique essence of your being. Your values give your voice depth, authenticity, and a resonance that transcends the mere technicalities of craft. They act as a filter, allowing only the words that are aligned with your truth to pass through, crafting a style that is as unique and individual as your own fingerprint. Your voice, shaped by the unwavering currents of your values, becomes a powerful force, capable of transforming the world through the magic of words. Ways to express your beliefs authentically through writing. Imagine a stained glass window, each pane a different color, a different shape, but all working together to create a single, unified image that reflects the light and transmits a powerful message. In much the same way, expressing your beliefs authentically through writing is not about preaching or proselytizing, but about weaving your values seamlessly into the fabric of your stories, allowing them to illuminate the world you create with their unique radiance. It's about crafting narratives that resonate with your deepest convictions, not through overt pronouncements, but through the subtle magic of storytelling. It's like a gardener tending their garden, not simply planting seeds at random, but carefully selecting the plants that align with their vision and arranging them in a way that expresses their unique aesthetic. You can express your beliefs through the characters you create, imbuing them with the virtues and flaws that reflect your understanding of human nature, allowing them to embody the ideals that you hold dear. You can explore the consequences of actions, revealing the impact of choices and illuminating the pathways towards moral growth. The settings you choose can also act as powerful vehicles for expressing your beliefs. The landscapes, both physical and metaphorical, in which your stories unfold can become a mirror to the world you see and the values you wish to uphold. Whether you choose to create a dystopian society that reflects the dangers of unchecked power, or a utopian world that embodies the potential of human compassion, the settings become as significant as the characters themselves. They're the very stage upon which your beliefs come to life. Furthermore, your unique perspective, the way you choose to frame a particular story, is also a powerful tool for expressing your beliefs. Do you choose to focus on the triumphs of the human spirit or the harsh realities of human suffering? Do you lean towards stories that celebrate connection or stories that highlight the perils of isolation? This is your unique vantage point, the lens through which you see the world, and it carries the weight of your personal convictions. It's like a photographer carefully choosing their angle, their composition, their lighting, all to reveal the unique essence of their subject. But perhaps most importantly, expressing your beliefs authentically through writing requires a commitment to vulnerability and honesty, to allowing your true self to shine through. Don't be afraid to reveal your doubts and fears, to show the imperfections of your own humanity. When you write from a place of vulnerability, your beliefs resonate with a greater power, touching the hearts and minds of your readers with a raw honesty that transcends the superficiality of mere opinion. It's like a musician pouring their heart into their performance, allowing the audience to share in their deepest emotions and experiences. Your writing should not be a statement or an opinion, but a beacon, shining brightly with the unwavering light of your authentic self. It is this commitment to your truth that will bring to life all your beliefs through the magic of storytelling. Chapter 3. Overcoming Self-Doubt. Identifying negative thought patterns. Common self-doubt triggers for writers. Imagine a field of wildflowers, each bloom vibrant and unique, but withering under the shadow of a relentless, encroaching cloud. This is how the creative mind can feel when it's under the siege of self-doubt, a dark presence that threatens to extinguish the very spark of inspiration. For writers, this self-doubt often manifests not as a single entity, but as a constellation of triggers, seemingly insignificant moments that can suddenly ignite a firestorm of negative thoughts. Recognizing these triggers is like learning the subtle language of the storm, the telltale signs that precede its arrival, allowing you to take shelter and protect the tender seedlings of your creativity. One common trigger is the blank page itself, the white abyss that stares back at you with an accusatory silence. It's like a vast, empty canvas that seems to mock your attempts to fill it with color and form. The cursor blinks, an incessant reminder of your perceived inadequacies, and the fear of not having anything worthwhile to say can become overwhelming. This trigger often arises from the pressure to produce something perfect, to create a masterpiece on the first attempt, a pressure that crushes the natural impulse towards exploration and discovery. Another potent trigger is the act of comparing your work to others. It's like standing beside a towering oak tree and lamenting that you are not as tall, as grand, as firmly rooted. The vast world of literature, filled with the echoes of countless voices, can seem intimidating and overwhelming, especially when you focus on the perceived perfection of others rather than on the unique beauty of your own voice. This trigger arises from a misguided belief in a fixed standard of good writing, rather than the beautiful mosaic of individual expression that makes literature so rich. Furthermore, the fear of judgment, the worry about how others will perceive your work, can act as a powerful trigger of self-doubt. The imagined criticism of unknown readers, the harsh judgments of peers, the fear of failure. These anxieties can become a heavy burden, stifling your creative spirit and preventing you from expressing your truth with honesty and vulnerability. It's like a bird afraid to sing, worrying about whether its song is beautiful enough, forgetting that the simple act of singing is the very essence of its being. Finally, the feedback itself, even when intended to be constructive, can sometimes trigger self-doubt. The criticisms, the corrections, the suggestions, these can be felt as a personal attack, a confirmation of your own internal fears. It's like a seed mistaking the rain for a flood, not recognizing it as a necessary source of nourishment. Understanding that feedback is not a judgment of your worth, but an opportunity for growth, is crucial in navigating the sometimes turbulent waters of the creative journey. Recognizing these common triggers is the first step in dismantling their power, allowing you to create a safe harbor where your unique voice can thrive. How these thoughts affect your confidence. Imagine a magnificent bird, wings poised for flight, its spirit yearning to soar through the boundless sky, yet tethered by invisible threads that hold it captive on the ground. This is how negative thought patterns can affect a writer's confidence, stifling their creative spirit, preventing them from realizing their full potential. These thoughts, like insidious whispers, chip away at your self-belief, creating a climate of fear and hesitancy that makes the simple act of writing a daunting and agonizing task. They are the unseen weights that prevent your imagination from taking flight. These negative thoughts, like a persistent fog, can obscure the clarity of your vision, making it difficult to see the inherent value of your own work. The internal critic, fueled by doubt, becomes a harsh taskmaster, constantly pointing out flaws and shortcomings, preventing you from embracing the beauty of imperfection. It's like trying to see a masterpiece through a cracked lens, focusing only on the imperfections and obscuring the overall beauty of the work. This relentless self-criticism can lead to a paralyzing fear of making mistakes, a reluctance to take risks, and an unwillingness to embrace the creative process with the openness and vulnerability that it requires. Furthermore, these negative thoughts can create a vicious cycle of self-sabotage, causing you to procrastinate, to avoid writing altogether, or to abandon your projects prematurely. It's like a gardener neglecting their garden, allowing the weeds of doubt to choke the life out of their precious plants. The more you listen to the voices of self-doubt, the more they gain power over you, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure. You begin to question your abilities, your talent, your very right to call yourself a writer, eroding your confidence from within. The constant barrage of negative thoughts can also lead to a sense of isolation, a feeling that you are alone in your struggles, that no one else understands the pain and anxiety that you are experiencing. This isolation can further fuel the fires of self-doubt, creating a sense of hopelessness and despair that makes it difficult to believe in your own potential. It's like a lighthouse, once a source of guidance, being consumed by the very storm it was meant to navigate. The cumulative effect of these negative thought patterns is a dramatic decline in your overall confidence as a writer. The joy of creating, the thrill of bringing a new story to life, is replaced by a sense of dread and apprehension. Your once vibrant voice becomes muted and hesitant, stifled by the weight of your own self-doubt. Breaking free from this cycle of negative thinking is not simply about becoming a more skilled technician with words. It's about reclaiming your creative power, restoring your self-belief, and allowing your authentic voice to sing with confidence and passion. It is about setting free the bird within you and letting it soar. Strategies for counteracting negative thoughts. Imagine a skilled gardener, faced with a field choked with weeds, not succumbing to despair, but instead employing a variety of strategies to nurture the delicate plants that lie beneath. In much the same way, counteracting negative thoughts requires a conscious and persistent effort, a willingness to actively cultivate a more positive and supportive inner landscape. It's not about magically banishing self-doubt altogether. It's about learning to manage it, to diminish its power, and to create space for your creative spirit to flourish. It's about becoming the master of your mind, the architect of your own inner garden. One powerful strategy is to become aware of your negative thoughts as they arise, observing them not as immutable truths, but as mere thoughts, ephemeral clouds that drift across the sky of your consciousness. It's like a fisherman noticing the ripples on the surface of a pond, recognizing that they are not the pond itself, but simply a disturbance of its surface. Don't engage with these thoughts. Don't give them your attention. Instead, simply acknowledge their presence and let them pass. Another effective technique is to challenge the validity of your negative thoughts, questioning their accuracy and their usefulness. Ask yourself, is this thought based on evidence, or is it simply a reflection of my fears? Is this thought helpful, or is it hindering my creative process? It's like a scientist examining a hypothesis, testing its validity against the available facts. Often, you'll find that your negative thoughts are not based on reality, but are simply exaggerations, distortions, or misinterpretations of the truth. Furthermore, try replacing your negative thoughts with more positive and empowering affirmations. Instead of focusing on your perceived flaws, focus on your strengths, your successes, and your potential for growth. It's like a gardener choosing to nurture the healthy plants rather than obsessing over the weeds. Remind yourself of the reasons why you love to write, the passion that fuels your creative spirit, the unique gifts that you bring to the world. Practice the art of self-compassion, treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend in need. Acknowledge that making mistakes is a natural part of the creative process, a necessary step on the path towards growth. Forgive yourself for your imperfections and celebrate your small victories, your moments of inspiration, your acts of courage and vulnerability. It's like a loving parent encouraging a child to learn and grow, offering support and guidance, not judgment and criticism. Finally, remember that overcoming negative thoughts is a process, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, be persistent in your efforts, and trust that with practice and dedication, you can create an inner landscape where your unique voice can thrive, free from the shackles of self-doubt. It's like a sculptor patiently chiseling away at a block of stone, gradually revealing the beauty that lies within. The strategies are a toolbox, and you are the craftsman, carefully applying the tools to cultivate a garden of confidence. Building confidence through small wins. Setting achievable writing goals. Imagine a long and winding path stretching before you, the summit obscured by mist and fog, seemingly impossible to reach. The journey ahead might feel daunting, overwhelming, and discouraging. But what if, instead of focusing on the distant peak, you chose to focus on the small, manageable steps you can take each day, each hour, each moment? This is the power of setting achievable writing goals, transforming the seemingly impossible journey into a series of small, attainable triumphs, each one a stepping stone that builds your confidence and propels you forward. It's like a mountain climber who doesn't just stare at the peak, but takes it one step at a time, one small victory leading to the next. It's not about setting unrealistic expectations that are destined to lead to disappointment and self-doubt. It's about breaking down large, overwhelming tasks into smaller, more manageable steps that allow you to experience a sense of accomplishment along the way. Instead of setting the goal of writing an entire novel in a week, perhaps you set a goal of writing 500 words per day, or working on one particular scene, or revising a single chapter. These smaller, achievable goals are like small campfires along the path of your creative journey, each one offering warmth, light, and a moment to celebrate your progress. When setting your goals, be specific, be realistic, and be mindful of the time constraints and other commitments in your life. Don't overload your schedule with unrealistic expectations that are bound to lead to failure. Instead, create a writing plan that is both challenging and achievable, allowing for flexibility and adaptation when necessary. It is like a sailor charting a course, not simply setting off in a random direction, but using careful calculations to reach their destination. Furthermore, focus on the process rather than the outcome. Don't obsess over the final product, the perfectly written story, or the flawlessly executed scene. Instead, focus on the joy of writing itself, the pleasure of exploring your ideas, the satisfaction of bringing your characters to life. It is the dedication to the process, not the obsession with the outcome, that builds true, lasting confidence, much like a baker enjoying the process of mixing ingredients rather than just focusing on the finished cake. When you set achievable writing goals, you create a framework for progress, a structure that provides a sense of purpose and direction. Each time you achieve a small goal, you build momentum, you demonstrate your capabilities to yourself, you create an upward spiral of confidence and achievement. It's like a train gathering steam with each turn of the wheels, gradually building up the power to carry it further along the tracks. Setting achievable goals is not just a way to get things done. It is a powerful tool for building self-belief, for nurturing your creative spirit, and for making the journey of writing a more joyful and fulfilling experience. Celebrating progress, no matter how small. Imagine a child learning to walk, taking their first tentative steps, stumbling and falling, yet rising again with a renewed sense of determination, their face lit with the sheer joy of progress. This, my friend, is the spirit with which we must approach the journey of writing, learning to celebrate every small victory, every inch gained, every word written, with the same enthusiasm and wonder. It's not about waiting for the grand triumph, the monumental achievement, but about recognizing and appreciating the beauty of every step, no matter how small. It's like a gardener admiring the first sprout, knowing that it is the seed of a larger, more beautiful bloom to come. Too often, we become so focused on the destination that we forget to appreciate the journey, overlooking the small signs of progress that accumulate over time. We tend to minimize our accomplishments, telling ourselves that what we have done is not good enough, that we should have done more, that we should be further along. This habit of discounting our efforts is like a thief stealing away the joy and satisfaction that we so rightly deserve. It's like constantly critiquing the work before it's finished, not allowing the joy of creation to take root. But what if we chose to embrace a different approach? What if we chose to celebrate every sentence crafted, every paragraph completed, every scene brought to life with the same passion and enthusiasm that we would reserve for a completed masterpiece? What if we chose to see the process itself as a series of small, incremental wins, each one worthy of recognition and celebration? It's like a child celebrating the first successful note they play on an instrument, knowing that each one will bring them closer to playing a symphony. This act of celebrating progress, no matter how small, is not about being complacent or settling for mediocrity. It is about cultivating a mindset of gratitude, of appreciating the effort and dedication that you are investing in your writing. It's about nurturing your creative spirit with positive reinforcement, creating an upward spiral of confidence and achievement. It's like a marathon runner pausing to appreciate the beauty of each mile marker, knowing that each step brings them closer to their goal. By recognizing and celebrating your small wins, you create a powerful positive feedback loop, reinforcing the behaviors that you want to encourage and diminishing the power of self-doubt. You train your mind to focus on your accomplishments rather than your shortcomings, building a stronger sense of self-belief and a deeper appreciation for the journey of writing. This practice of celebrating small wins is not simply a feel-good exercise. It's a powerful tool for building confidence, nurturing creativity, and creating a sustainable and joyful writing practice. It is like a beacon, shining brightly, illuminating the way forward and guiding you to believe in your unique potential. The importance of consistent practice for building confidence. Imagine a river, carving its path through rock, not by force, but by the persistent, unwavering flow of water over time. It's the constant, steady rhythm that shapes the land, slowly but surely, changing the world with its gentle yet powerful persistence. This, my friend, is the essence of consistent practice in writing. A steady, unwavering dedication that, over time, can transform your skills, erode your self-doubt, and build a profound sense of confidence in your abilities. It's not about sporadic bursts of energy. It's about the quiet dedication to the craft, the daily ritual of showing up, no matter how you may feel. Consistent practice is the bedrock upon which all writing mastery is built. It's the daily bread of the creative spirit, the nourishment that allows your skills to grow, your voice to deepen, and your confidence to blossom. It's not about the quantity of writing, but about the quality of your engagement, the unwavering commitment to honing your craft day after day. Like a musician who practices scales and exercises every day, it is the mundane that makes the sublime possible. With each act of writing, whether it be a sentence, a paragraph, or a whole scene, you're not only developing your technical skills, but also strengthening the very muscles of your creative imagination. It's like an athlete training their body to become stronger, faster, more agile, each repetition building a foundation of strength and resilience. The more you write, the more you learn about your unique style, the more you understand your strengths and weaknesses, the more confident you become in your ability to shape your ideas into compelling stories. Furthermore, consistent practice helps to demystify the writing process, transforming it from an intimidating challenge into a familiar and enjoyable activity. The more you write, the more you realize that it is not about waiting for inspiration to strike, but about showing up, committing to the work, and allowing your creative flow to guide you. It's like a traveler who, through repeated journeys, comes to understand the terrain, no longer feeling lost or intimidated by the landscape, but familiar and at home. Moreover, consistent practice provides a concrete sense of accomplishment and progress, building your confidence one small step at a time. Each time you sit down to write, and each time you complete a task, you are demonstrating to yourself that you are capable of creating, capable of persevering, capable of overcoming the challenges of the creative process. This repeated demonstration of your abilities is like building a sturdy fortress, each brick adding to its strength, each layer making it more secure against the attacks of self-doubt. Finally, it is through consistent practice that you discover the beauty and the joy of the creative journey, the quiet satisfaction of bringing your unique stories to life, and the power of words to transform the world. Consistent practice is not just a means to an end. It is a journey of self-discovery, a process of continuous growth, and the very key that unlocks the doors to your creative potential. It's about building a relationship with the craft itself, a constant return that nourishes both the writer and their stories. Cultivating a growth mindset. The role of failure in growth and voice development. Imagine a blacksmith hammering away at a piece of raw metal, shaping it with heat and force, not flinching at the missteps, the dents, the seemingly failed attempts, but seeing in each one the path towards refinement, towards a stronger and more beautiful creation. In much the same way, the journey of a writer is not a smooth, linear path toward perfection, but a twisting, turning road marked by both triumphs and failures. It's not about avoiding failure, but about embracing it, learning from it, and using it as a catalyst for growth and the development of your unique voice. It is the very imperfection that refines the art. Failure, often perceived as the antithesis of success, is in reality the very crucible in which your creative spirit is forged. It's the unexpected detour that leads to unforeseen discoveries, the wrong turn that reveals a hidden pathway, the stumbling block that forces you to find new ways to move forward. Without failure, your growth would be stunted, your potential unrealized, your voice dulled by the absence of challenge. It's like a river that, without the obstacles of rocks and bends, would become stagnant and lifeless. Each failure, each seemingly unsuccessful attempt at creating something new, provides invaluable feedback, illuminating the areas where you need to improve, revealing the gaps in your skill and knowledge. It's like a scientist conducting an experiment, learning just as much from the results that don't match their hypothesis as from those that do. The mistakes are not signs of inadequacy, but are beacons, showing you the way forward, guiding your hand toward a more authentic expression. Furthermore, failure allows you to step outside of your comfort zone, to take risks, to experiment with new techniques, to explore the unknown territories of your imagination. It frees you from the shackles of perfectionism, from the fear of making mistakes, and allows you to embrace the messy, unpredictable, and ultimately rewarding process of creation. It's like a traveler venturing into uncharted lands, knowing that they may encounter setbacks and challenges, but also knowing that they may discover something extraordinary. Moreover, it is through failure that you develop resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to learn from your mistakes, and to continue moving forward with renewed determination. It's like a tree that has weathered many storms, its roots running deep into the soil, its branches reaching towards the sky, its strength forged in the face of adversity. Your unique voice emerges through this process, shaped by the unique experiences, the triumphs and the failures that make you you. The path to mastery is not paved with perfection, but with the courage to embrace failure as an essential part of the journey. It is in the messy, unpredictable spaces of trying and failing that your unique voice will find its true strength, its authentic expression, and its lasting impact upon the world. Failure, then, is not the end, but a catalyst, a powerful force that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Embracing feedback as a tool for improvement. Imagine a sculptor carefully examining their work, not with a critical eye, but with a desire to understand its strengths and weaknesses, to identify the areas that require further refinement. It's not about personal judgment, but about the quest for perfection, the constant striving for excellence. In much the same way, embracing feedback is not an act of vulnerability, but a powerful tool for growth, a vital component in the development of your writing skills and the refinement of your unique voice. It's like a mirror, reflecting not your flaws, but the potential for greater artistry, a chance to truly see the work from a different perspective. Feedback, when approached with the right mindset, is like a compass, guiding you on your creative journey, helping you to navigate the often turbulent waters of the writing process. It's not about blindly accepting every suggestion or critique. It's about carefully considering the perspectives of others, filtering the feedback that resonates with your unique style, and learning from the insights that can help you to grow. It's like a sailor using charts and stars, not blindly following any path, but using information to make the wisest decisions on the journey. Too often, we approach feedback with fear and defensiveness, perceiving it as a personal attack, a validation of our deepest insecurities. This resistance to feedback acts as a barrier to growth, preventing us from seeing our work with fresh eyes, from identifying the areas where we can improve, from realizing our full potential. It's like a plant that refuses to receive the rain, withering from its refusal to take in needed nourishment. But what if we chose to embrace feedback, not as a judgment of our worth, but as a gift, a valuable resource that can help us to grow as writers? What if we chose to approach it with curiosity and openness, with a willingness to learn from the perspectives of others, to see our work from different angles, to consider alternative approaches? It's like a student eagerly receiving their teacher's notes, knowing that it is a key to improvement. The right feedback, when offered with kindness and constructive intent, can help you to identify blind spots, to recognize patterns of weakness, to see how your words are impacting your reader. It can illuminate the areas where your voice is strong, where your style shines, and where your stories resonate with the greatest power. It's like a doctor diagnosing a patient, using their expertise to understand the root of the problem and to prescribe the right course of treatment. Therefore, embrace the gift of feedback, not as an enemy, but as an ally, a tool that can help you to hone your skills, to refine your voice, and to bring your stories to life with ever greater power and authenticity. It's like a fire that, while it can be destructive, can also be used to shape and refine the metal, making it stronger and more durable. This willingness to engage with constructive criticism is not a weakness, but a strength, a sign of a writer who is committed to the ongoing journey of growth. How to stay motivated during setbacks. Imagine a lone traveler, journeying through a vast and unforgiving desert, encountering sandstorms and treacherous terrain, yet still driven by an unwavering desire to reach their destination, their spirit fueled by the hope of what lies ahead. In much the same way, the journey of a writer is not without its challenges, its periods of doubt, its moments of frustration and despair. Setbacks are inevitable. They are the sandstorms and the shifting dunes that test your resolve. Learning how to navigate these difficult times, how to stay motivated even in the face of adversity, is crucial for any writer who dreams of realizing their full potential. It's about cultivating the inner fire that burns even in the darkest of nights. One essential practice is to remember your why, the reason that you began writing in the first place. Return to the source of your inspiration, the passion that fuels your creative spirit, the unique message that you yearn to share with the world. It's like a sailor returning to the stars, finding direction even in a storm. Let this why be the anchor that keeps you grounded during the turbulent times, the source of energy that propels you forward when your motivation wanes. Another important strategy is to break down overwhelming tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. Instead of focusing on the distant goal, the perfectly crafted novel, the flawlessly written scene, focus on the small, achievable actions that you can take each day, each hour, each moment. It's like a hiker who doesn't just stare at the mountain, but focuses on the next step, knowing each one will get them closer to the top. This approach makes the journey feel less daunting and allows you to experience a sense of progress and accomplishment along the way. Furthermore, surround yourself with a community of supportive and encouraging writers, people who understand the challenges that you are facing, people who can offer a helping hand, a word of encouragement, a listening ear. It is like travelers walking together, sharing stories, and building each other up on a difficult journey. This sense of connection can be a powerful antidote to the isolation that can often accompany the writing process. Embrace the power of rest and rejuvenation, recognizing that burnout is the enemy of creativity and that taking breaks is not a sign of weakness, but a necessary step for maintaining your long-term motivation. It's like a musician knowing when to stop the practice and find a moment to simply listen to the birds. Allow yourself to step away from your work, to recharge your batteries, to reconnect with the source of your creative energy. Finally, practice the art of self-compassion, treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend in need. Acknowledge that setbacks are a natural part of the creative process, that it is okay to feel discouraged, frustrated, and even defeated at times. It is in the darkness of those times that you learn the most and grow the strongest. By cultivating a growth mindset, celebrating small victories, embracing failure as a learning opportunity, you will not only overcome your setbacks, but also emerge from them stronger, wiser, and more resilient, with a voice that has been forged in the fires of adversity. It is in these moments of struggle that your voice truly learns to sing. Chapter 4. Experimenting with writing techniques. Trying out different narratives. Writing in first person versus third person. Imagine a storyteller standing before a crackling fire, their voice weaving a tale that transports the listeners to another world. But what if that storyteller decided to change their perspective, to tell the story not from their own vantage point, but through the eyes of another? This, my friend, is the essence of experimenting with different narrative perspectives, the magic of stepping into the shoes of your characters and seeing the world through their unique lens. It is about exploring the possibilities and the unique power that comes from telling a story in either first person or third person. Writing in the first person is like inviting your reader into the very heart of your character, giving them direct access to their thoughts, their feelings, their most intimate secrets. It's like standing beside them, experiencing the world through their eyes, feeling the warmth of the sun upon their skin, hearing the whispers of their soul. The eye becomes a powerful conduit for emotional connection, allowing the reader to empathize deeply with the character's journey, to feel their joys and sorrows as if they were their own. It's like a close, intimate conversation where the reader feels as though they are right there, walking side by side with the narrator. The first-person perspective, when handled with care and intention, can create a sense of immediacy and authenticity, drawing the reader into the narrative with a compelling force. It allows you to explore the subjective nature of experience, to delve into the inner workings of the human mind, and to paint a vivid and personal picture of the world. It's like stepping inside a character's dream, experiencing the world as they perceive it, with all its unique colors, textures, and emotions. But the first-person perspective also has its limitations. It restricts the reader's access to information, limiting their knowledge to what the narrator can perceive and understand. You become bound by their biases, their limitations, their unique perspective, unable to see beyond their point of view. It's like being confined to a single room in a large house, only able to experience what is contained within those four walls. On the other hand, writing in the third person is like stepping back from the story, observing your characters from a distance, like a puppeteer manipulating their strings from behind the scenes. The use of he, she, and they creates a sense of objectivity, allowing you to explore a wider range of perspectives, to present multiple viewpoints, and to reveal aspects of the story that might be hidden from a first-person narrator. It's like an artist standing back from their canvas, able to take in the entire scene, not limited to the perspectives of the characters within. The third-person perspective offers a sense of freedom, allowing you to explore the inner thoughts and feelings of multiple characters, to reveal their hidden motivations, and to create a more complex and nuanced view of the world. It provides a broader lens, a wider view, a perspective that allows you to present the story with greater control and versatility. It's like an architect building a house, having full control of every room and every space. Experimenting with both first-person and third-person narratives will allow you to discover the unique power of each, helping you to determine which perspective best serves your particular story, which allows your voice to speak most authentically and compellingly. It is in this exploration that you will discover the full potential of your storytelling abilities, learning when to walk side by side with your characters, and when to step back and observe the world through the lens of an objective narrator. Writing in first person versus third person. Imagine a storyteller standing before a crackling fire, their voice weaving a tale that transports the listeners to another world. But what if that storyteller decided to change their perspective, to tell the story not from their own vantage point, but through the eyes of another? This, my friend, is the essence of experimenting with different narrative perspectives, the magic of stepping into the shoes of your characters and seeing the world through their unique lens. It is about exploring the possibilities and the unique power that comes from telling a story in either first person or third person. Writing in the first person is like inviting your reader into the very heart of your character, giving them direct access to their thoughts, their feelings, their most intimate secrets. It's like standing beside them, experiencing the world through their eyes, feeling the warmth of the sun upon their skin, hearing the whispers of their soul. The eye becomes a powerful conduit for emotional connection, allowing the reader to empathize deeply with the character's journey, to feel their joys and sorrows as if they were their own. It's like a close, intimate conversation where the reader feels as though they are right there, walking side by side with the narrator. The first-person perspective, when handled with care and intention, can create a sense of immediacy and authenticity, drawing the reader into the narrative with a compelling force. It allows you to explore the subjective nature of experience, to delve into the inner workings of the human mind, and to paint a vivid and personal picture of the world. It's like stepping inside a character's dream, experiencing the world as they perceive it, with all its unique colors, textures, and emotions. But the first-person perspective also has its limitations. It restricts the reader's access to information, limiting their knowledge to what the narrator can perceive and understand. You become bound by their biases, their limitations, their unique perspective, unable to see beyond their point of view. It's like being confined to a single room in a large house, only able to experience what is contained within those four walls. On the other hand, writing in the third person is like stepping back from the story, observing your characters from a distance, like a puppeteer manipulating their strings from behind the scenes. The use of he, she, and they creates a sense of objectivity, allowing you to explore a wider range of perspectives, to present multiple viewpoints, and to reveal aspects of the story that might be hidden from a first-person narrator. It's like an artist standing back from their canvas, able to take in the entire scene, not limited to the perspectives of the characters within. The third-person perspective offers a sense of freedom, allowing you to explore the inner thoughts and feelings of multiple characters, to reveal their hidden motivations, and to create a more complex and nuanced view of the world. It provides a broader lens, a wider view, a perspective that allows you to present the story with greater control and versatility. It's like an architect building a house, having full control of every room and every space. Experimenting with both first-person and third-person narratives will allow you to discover the unique power of each, helping you to determine which perspective best serves your particular story, which allows your voice to speak most authentically and compellingly. It is in this exploration that you will discover the full potential of your storytelling abilities, learning when to walk side by side with your characters and when to step back and observe the world through the lens of an objective narrator. Experimenting with different tenses and perspectives. Imagine time as a vast, swirling ocean, with currents that flow in multiple directions, each with its own unique cadence, its own distinct power. As a writer, you have the ability to navigate this ocean, to move back and forth through time, to manipulate its currents with your words, allowing you to shape the way your story unfolds, to influence the reader's experience of the past, present, and future. This, my friend, is the essence of experimenting with different tenses and perspectives, exploring the unique possibilities that arise when you tell a story in the present, the past, or even the future, each of which has the power to evoke a different feeling, create a different atmosphere, and shape the reader's understanding of your narrative. Writing in the present tense is like capturing a photograph, a snapshot of a particular moment in time, a feeling of immediacy and directness that can draw your reader into the heart of the scene, making them feel as if they are living the story as it unfolds. It's like a news broadcast conveying a sense of urgency, of things happening right now, of events unfolding in real time. The present tense creates a sense of intimacy and immersion, placing the reader directly in the experience of your characters, allowing them to feel the emotions, the sensations, and the intensity of each passing moment. However, the present tense can also feel limited, confining the narrative to the narrow window of the present, restricting the flow of memory, anticipation, and reflection. It can lack the depth and resonance that comes from exploring the complexities of the past or the possibilities of the future. It's like being confined to a single frame in a film, missing the larger context of the overall story. On the other hand, writing in the past tense is like watching a film, recalling a story that has already happened, creating a sense of distance, of reflection, and a sense of closure. The past tense allows you to explore the impact of time on your characters, to reveal the consequences of their actions, to reflect on the lessons that they have learned. It creates a sense of depth and perspective, allowing the reader to see the full arc of the story, to understand the way in which the past has shaped the present. Furthermore, playing with the narrative perspective, moving beyond the traditional first and third person to explore the possibilities of second-person narration can create a unique and immersive reading experience. By using you can directly address your reader, drawing them into the story as if they were a character themselves, making them a participant in the events, blurring the boundaries between the reader and the text. It is like an actor who breaks the fourth wall, directly engaging with the audience and making them a part of the performance. Experimenting with different tenses and perspectives is not simply a technical exercise. It's a way to explore the infinite possibilities of storytelling, to unlock the hidden depths of your creative voice, to discover the unique rhythm and flow that best serve the particular story that you wish to tell. It is in this exploration that you will discover the magic of time and perspective, allowing you to shape the narrative experience and create stories that resonate with depth, emotion, and lasting impact. How to discover what feels natural for you. Imagine a musician trying out different instruments, exploring the unique sounds of each, not forcing themselves to play what they are supposed to play, but listening for the instrument that resonates most deeply with their soul, the one that allows their inner melody to flow most freely. In much the same way, Discovering the narrative perspective and tense that feels most natural to you is not about following rules or conventions. It's about listening to the inner music of your voice, about paying attention to the moments when your writing feels most authentic, most alive, most like a true expression of your unique creative spirit. It's about finding the path that resonates with your heart, the way that allows you to tell your stories with the greatest ease, authenticity, and power. It's like a gardener who, after trying out different soils, different fertilizers, different climates, discovers the particular conditions in which their plants thrive the most. The process is one of experimentation, of observation, of gentle nurturing, and a willingness to adapt and adjust as you go. It's about allowing your own rhythm to emerge, not trying to force it into a shape that does not fit. The key is to experiment, to try writing the same story or scene from different perspectives and in different tenses, paying attention to the unique feel of each experience. Does writing in the first person make you feel confined, or does it allow you to delve deeper into the inner life of your character? Does writing in the present tense feel immediate and visceral, or does it feel limiting and restrictive? Does third-person narration feel objective and expansive, or does it feel detached and distant? These are questions that only you can answer, questions that must be explored through the process of active experimentation. It's like a painter trying out different brushes and colors, learning to master them all, but focusing on those that bring them the greatest joy. Furthermore, pay attention to the emotions that are evoked by each narrative approach. Does writing in a particular tense or perspective bring you joy, a sense of flow, a feeling of connection to your work? Or does it feel strained, awkward, and forced? Your emotional responses are valuable guides, showing you the way toward the narrative approaches that best support your unique voice. It's like a compass, pointing you towards the direction where your creativity flows the freest. The goal is not to find the right way to write, but to find your way, the particular approach that best serves the stories that you wish to tell, the unique perspective that feels most true to your creative vision. The goal is not to imitate others, but to discover the authentic expression that only you can bring to the page. The process should be a joyful exploration, a playful experimentation, an adventure of discovery that leads you to a deeper understanding of your own creative process. It's like a child exploring a new world, filled with wonder, excitement, and a sense of endless possibilities. Discovering what feels natural is not a destination, but a journey. And like any good journey, it can be as rewarding as finding the final destination. Practicing creative exercises. Freewriting as a tool for self-expression. Imagine a stream, bubbling and flowing, its waters cascading over stones and around bends, finding its own unique path towards the sea. This, my friend, is the essence of freewriting, a powerful tool for self-expression, a way to unlock the hidden depths of your creative mind, allowing your thoughts to flow freely onto the page, unburdened by judgment, criticism, or the constraints of structure. It's like opening the floodgates of your imagination, letting your ideas spill out without restraint, discovering the unexpected treasures that lie within your subconscious. It's not about crafting perfect sentences, it's about allowing your mind to wander and your creativity to find its own rhythm. Freewriting is an act of pure exploration, a journey into the uncharted territories of your inner landscape. It is the practice of writing without stopping, without editing, without planning, allowing your thoughts to flow spontaneously, like a stream finding its way through the forest. It's about letting go of control, surrendering to the process, and allowing your words to lead you down unexpected paths. It is like an artist putting brush to canvas without any preconceived notion of what will emerge. The beauty of freewriting lies in its lack of structure, its absence of rules. There is no right or wrong way to freewrite. No need to worry about grammar, punctuation, or even making sense. The purpose is not to create a polished piece of writing, but to unleash your creative energy, to tap into the wellspring of your imagination, to allow your unique voice to emerge without hindrance. It's like a child playing with toys, not concerned with their proper usage, but simply enjoying the act of creation and experimentation. Freewriting can be used to explore a particular topic, to delve into the depths of a character's motivations, or simply to allow your mind to wander. following the threads of your thoughts as they lead you in unexpected directions. It's like a traveler setting off on a journey without a map, trusting their instincts to guide them through the unfamiliar terrain. The practice of free writing is not simply about the words you produce. It's about the process of releasing your inner critic, creating a safe space for your creativity to flourish, and discovering the hidden pathways that lead to the heart of your own unique voice. Furthermore, the practice of free writing can be a powerful tool for overcoming writer's block, for unlocking the flow of creative energy, and for discovering new ideas and perspectives. By freeing yourself from the constraints of judgment, you allow your mind to wander, to connect seemingly disparate ideas, and to generate unique insights that might have otherwise remained hidden. It's like shaking a kaleidoscope, watching the fragmented pieces fall into new and beautiful patterns. Free writing is an act of self-discovery, a journey into the heart of your own unique imagination, a reminder that within each of us lies a universe of untapped creativity waiting to be explored. It is within the free-flowing stream of free writing that you'll discover the beauty of your own voice. Writing prompts to spark creativity and uncover your voice. Imagine a garden filled with a diverse array of seeds, each one containing the potential to blossom into a unique and beautiful flower. But without the right conditions, without the proper encouragement, without the spark of inspiration, these seeds may remain dormant, their potential unrealized. In much the same way, writing prompts are like the sunlight and the rain, the essential ingredients that can ignite your imagination, awaken your creativity, and help you to discover the hidden depths of your unique voice. They are not constraints, but rather invitations, opportunities to explore new territories, to venture into the unknown realms of your mind, and to unlock the stories that are waiting to be told. They're the keys to unlocking the potential of your creative seeds. Writing prompts are like a series of open doors, each leading to a different realm of possibility, inviting you to explore a particular scenario, a specific character, or a unique theme. They are like starting points, offering a gentle nudge in a particular direction, allowing your imagination to take flight from a set place, but without prescribing the route it must follow. It is like an artist given a single color and letting the use of that color inspire the rest of their canvas. A writing prompt might ask you to imagine a world where the sky is always the color of twilight, or a character who can communicate with animals, or a story that begins with a single, forgotten photograph. The beauty of a good prompt lies in its ambiguity, its ability to spark multiple interpretations, to trigger unexpected connections, to lead you down paths that you might not have otherwise considered. It is like a dream, a strange and wondrous world where the possibilities are endless and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. The goal of using writing prompts is not to produce a perfect piece of writing, but to explore, to experiment, to play with language, and to discover the unique ways in which your voice expresses itself. It's like a child playing with building blocks, not concerned with the final result, but delighted by the act of creation, the possibilities of construction and deconstruction, the joy of experimentation. The point is not to find the one right response to a prompt, but to discover the many, the varied, the surprising, the uniquely you responses that your creative voice can offer. Furthermore, writing prompts can be an invaluable tool for overcoming writer's block, for igniting your imagination when it feels dull, and for helping you to uncover the hidden corners of your creative mind. They are like a spark plug that can jumpstart your engine, setting your creative gears in motion. They challenge you to think outside the box, to approach familiar themes from new angles, to find the beauty in the ordinary, and to discover the unique magic that lies within your own unique voice. It's like a traveler given a map, not to constrain their journey, but to give them a place to begin and a direction to venture. The prompts are a playground where your imagination can soar. Journaling to reflect on your writing journey. Imagine a ship's log, its pages filled with the daily observations of the journey, charting the course, noting the storms weathered, and the discoveries made along the way. In much the same way, journaling is an essential tool for navigating your writing journey, a place to record your thoughts, your feelings, your triumphs, and your setbacks, a way to reflect upon your process, and to gain a deeper understanding of your unique voice as it develops and evolves over time. It is the quiet space where you can chart your creative path and make note of the shifting tides of your imagination. It is the logbook of your writerly soul. Journaling is not about crafting perfect prose. It is not about producing polished pieces of writing. It is a space for raw, unfiltered expression, a place where you can be honest with yourself about your creative process, about your struggles, about your doubts, about your joys. It's a private conversation with your inner self, a safe space where you can explore your thoughts and emotions without judgment or criticism. It is like talking to a trusted friend, sharing your fears and dreams, knowing that you will be heard with empathy and understanding. In your journal, you can reflect on the challenges that you have faced, the obstacles that you have overcome, and the lessons that you have learned along the way. You can examine your writing process, identifying the techniques that work best for you, the habits that support your creativity, and the triggers that spark your imagination. It's like an explorer mapping the terrain, charting the paths that lead to success and the obstacles that must be overcome. You can also use your journal to capture ideas, to record your observations of the world, to explore the themes that resonate most deeply with you. It is a place to gather the raw materials of your creativity, the sparks of inspiration that can be transformed into compelling stories. It's like a collector gathering shells on the beach, knowing that each one holds the potential for beauty and meaning. The act of regularly journaling can be a powerful tool for self-discovery, for gaining a deeper understanding of your creative voice, and for building your confidence as a writer. It is a space where you can celebrate your small victories, acknowledge your setbacks, and appreciate the slow, steady process of growth. It allows you to connect with your inner self, to listen to the whispers of your heart, to nurture the seeds of your imagination. It's like a gardener tending their garden, providing the water, the sunlight, and the care that is needed for the plants to thrive. Furthermore, returning to old journal entries can provide invaluable insights, allowing you to see how far you have come, how your voice has evolved, how your skills have developed over time. It is like rereading old letters from a past self, marveling at the ways in which you have grown and transformed, knowing that the journey is not over, that there are still many more stories to tell, many more worlds to explore. The journal becomes not just a record of the past, but a source of inspiration for the future, the path you've already walked that will inform the roads you will choose to travel. Embracing vulnerability in your writing, the power of being personal and authentic in your work. Imagine a storyteller standing before their audience, not hiding behind a mask of pretense, but revealing the depths of their heart, their fears, their dreams, their unique perspective on the world. In that moment, a powerful connection is forged, a bond of trust and intimacy that transcends the superficiality of mere entertainment. This, my friend, is the essence of embracing vulnerability in your writing, the courage to be personal, to be authentic, to allow your true self to shine through the words, to leave an indelible mark on the hearts of your readers. It's like a musician playing their heart out, pouring their very soul into each note, creating a powerful emotional resonance. It's about telling the truth, the raw and sometimes messy truth, as only you can tell it. Too often, we hide behind a shield of objectivity, a mask of detachment, afraid to reveal the vulnerabilities that make us human. We sanitize our stories, removing the rough edges, polishing away the imperfections, creating characters that are more like cardboard cutouts than living, breathing souls. We worry about what others will think, about exposing our weaknesses, about being judged for our unique quirks and perspectives. This fear of vulnerability acts as a barrier to true connection, preventing us from forging a lasting relationship with our readers. It's like a painter using only bland colors, afraid of experimenting with the full palette of their artistic potential. But what if we chose to embrace our vulnerability, to allow our personal experiences, our unique perspectives, to infuse our work with a sense of authenticity and honesty? What if we chose to write not from a place of fear, but from a place of courage, allowing our true selves to be revealed in all their messy, imperfect glory? It's like opening the windows to a long-closed room, allowing the fresh air and sunlight to flood the space, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. When you write from a place of authenticity, when you allow your personal experiences and unique perspectives to shape your stories, your words take on a greater depth, a greater resonance, a greater power. Your characters become more real, more relatable, more human. Your stories become more meaningful, more impactful, more unforgettable. The words on the page become infused with the very essence of who you are, carrying the weight of your heart, the wisdom of your experience, and the unique melody of your soul. It's like a recipe, where the unique blend of ingredients and the care with which they are combined create a flavor that can't be replicated. Embracing vulnerability is not about revealing everything. It's about revealing what matters, what feels true to your heart, what will forge a meaningful connection with your readers. It's about sharing the truths that only you can tell, the stories that are unique to your experience, the perspectives that will expand your readers' understanding of the world. It's about believing that the most compelling stories, the ones that truly touch our hearts, are the stories that come from a place of courage, a place of honesty, and a place of deep, personal vulnerability. This act of revealing yourself is not a weakness, but a powerful strength, a sign of a writer who has the courage to be truly seen. How vulnerability strengthens your connection with readers. Imagine a tightrope walker, not merely performing their act with technical precision, but with a visible tremor of vulnerability, a hint of fear that makes their every step more meaningful, more relatable, more profoundly human. In that moment, the audience is not just observing a performance. They are sharing an experience, a moment of raw, emotional truth that creates a bond that transcends the boundaries of the stage. In much the same way, vulnerability in writing is not a weakness, but a powerful force that can forge a deep and lasting connection with your readers, creating a bond of empathy, trust, and shared humanity. It's about inviting them into your heart and sharing with them the experiences and emotions that make you you. When you write from a place of vulnerability, when you allow your true self to shine through the words, your readers recognize the honesty, the authenticity, and the courage that lie behind the surface. They see past the artifice, past the pretense, and connect with the raw, emotional core of your work. It's like a lighthouse, not just sending out a signal, but a beacon that resonates with those on the shore, a reminder that they are not alone in their struggles, their fears, their hopes, and dreams. Your vulnerabilities, the very aspects of yourself that you might hesitate to reveal, become the very qualities that make your work so compelling, so relatable, so unforgettable. Vulnerability breaks down the walls that separate you from your readers, creating a space of intimacy and connection. It's like sharing a secret with a trusted friend, a gesture that creates a bond of mutual understanding and empathy. When you reveal your own doubts, your own fears, your own imperfections, your readers feel seen. They feel understood. They feel less alone in their own struggles. This sense of shared humanity is a powerful force, creating a connection that transcends the boundaries of language and culture. Furthermore, vulnerability invites empathy, allowing your readers to step into the shoes of your characters, to feel their joys, their sorrows, their triumphs, their defeats. It's like an artist painting a portrait, not just capturing the external features of their subject, but revealing their inner world, their emotions, their unique personality. The more vulnerable you allow your characters to be, the more deeply your readers will connect with them, the more invested they will become in their stories, the more likely they are to carry their experiences with them long after the final page has been turned. The connection forged through vulnerability is not fleeting. It is a lasting bond of shared humanity, a deep sense of empathy, and a genuine understanding. Your readers are not just passive observers. They become participants in your stories. They feel the emotions. They wrestle with the same moral dilemmas. They celebrate the same triumphs. It is through this profound connection that your work takes on a power and a meaning that transcends the words on the page, leaving a lasting impact on the hearts and minds of your readers. The courage to be vulnerable is not a weakness, but a key, unlocking the heart of your readers and allowing them to connect with your unique voice. Overcoming fears of judgment and criticism. Imagine a tightrope walker, poised high above the ground, battling not only the physical challenge of their task, but also the fear of falling, the anxiety of being watched, the weight of judgment from the unseen faces below. In much the same way, the fear of judgment and criticism can be one of the most daunting obstacles a writer must face, a force that can stifle creativity, silence your voice, and prevent you from fully embracing the vulnerability that is essential to authentic expression. It's like an invisible chain, tethering you to the ground when your heart yearns to soar. It is that fear which keeps you from being truly seen. The fear of judgment is often rooted in a deep-seated insecurity, a worry that our work is not good enough, that our voice is not worthy of being heard. It's like a seed afraid to sprout, fearing that it will not be beautiful enough, that it will not be strong enough, that it will not be accepted by the world. This fear can manifest as procrastination, as self-censorship, as a reluctance to share our work with others, keeping the stories that are so dear to our hearts hidden in the shadows. It's like an artist hiding their paintings, not allowing anyone to see their work for fear of critique. The fear of criticism can be equally paralyzing, making us hesitant to embrace vulnerability, to reveal our true selves in our writing. We worry about what others will think about the negative comments, the harsh reviews, the attacks on our character and our ability. This fear can create a wall of defensiveness, preventing us from learning and growing from the feedback we receive. It's like a gardener who refuses to accept any advice, fearful of the criticism that might be offered. But what if we chose to approach judgment and criticism not as threats, but as opportunities for growth? What if we chose to see it not as a reflection of our worth, but as a valuable source of feedback, as a chance to hone our skills, to refine our voice, and to connect with our readers in a more meaningful way? It's like a metal worker not fearing the heat of the furnace, but knowing that it is the very force that will shape and strengthen the metal. Overcoming the fear of judgment and criticism is not about becoming immune to their sting. It's about developing a more resilient mindset, a stronger sense of self-belief, and a deeper understanding of the creative process. It's about understanding that not everyone will love your work, that negative feedback is inevitable, and that the most important voice you must listen to is your own. It's like a sailor knowing how to navigate a storm, not letting it destroy them, but using it to strengthen their resolve. Remember that your unique perspective, your personal experiences, your individual voice are valuable, and that the world needs to hear them. The stories you tell are a gift, and it is your responsibility to share them with honesty and courage. Embrace the vulnerability that makes your work so authentic, so relatable, so unforgettable. It is in the face of judgment and criticism that your true voice will find its strength, its resilience, its power, and its lasting impact. The courage to embrace vulnerability is not about being fearless. It is about being brave enough to share yourself with the world, knowing that it is your truth that will resonate with your readers. Chapter 5. Finding Flow in Your Writing Process. Understanding the writing process. The stages of writing: planning, drafting, revising. Imagine a sculptor standing before a block of raw stone, their mind filled with the vision of the form that lies within, the beauty that they yearn to reveal. But the path from vision to creation is not a single leap. It's a journey through various stages of exploration, of shaping, of refining. In much the same way, the writing process is not a singular act, but a series of interwoven steps, each crucial for transforming a seed of an idea into a living, breathing story. These stages, planning, drafting, revising, are the pathways through which your creativity flows, the essential elements that allow your voice to sing with clarity and power. It is the dance that will shape your visions into reality. The planning stage is like drawing a map, a guide that will lead you through the uncharted territory of your imagination, helping you to understand the lay of the land, the characters that will inhabit it, and the events that will unfold within it. It's a time for brainstorming, for exploring ideas, for sketching out the basic structure of your story, allowing the initial spark of inspiration to take form and direction. It's about answering the essential questions. What is my story about? Who are my characters? What is the central conflict? What message do I want to convey? This is the foundation upon which your story will be built, the blueprint that will guide you through the rest of your writing journey. The drafting stage is like setting sail on an open sea, allowing your imagination to roam freely, to explore the possibilities of your story, to bring your characters to life with words, without worrying about perfection, without censoring your thoughts, without judging your work. It's a time for allowing your creativity to flow like a river finding its way to the ocean, letting the words pour out without restraint, capturing the raw energy and emotion of your ideas. It's about getting your story down on the page, however imperfect it may be, knowing that you can refine it later. It's like an artist splashing the initial colors onto their canvas, not yet concerned with details, but with capturing the essence of their vision. The revising stage is like sculpting a work of art, refining the form, smoothing the rough edges, polishing the details, allowing the beauty of your story to emerge. It's a time for critical self-reflection, a chance to evaluate your work, to identify the areas where it can be improved, to strengthen its impact, and to ensure that your voice is clear, consistent, and authentic. It's about stepping back from your work, seeing it with fresh eyes, and making the necessary adjustments to shape your story into its most powerful form. It's like a woodcarver carefully adding details, making the final touches that will make a piece truly beautiful. These three stages are not always linear. They often overlap and intermingle, creating a dynamic and fluid process that requires flexibility and adaptation. They are not fixed rules, but guidelines that can help you to navigate the complex and unpredictable terrain of the writing process. Understanding these stages will not only help you to become a more effective writer, but will also allow you to find flow, that state of joyful immersion in your craft, where creativity becomes a dance and words flow with ease and grace. How to avoid feeling overwhelmed. Imagine a traveler standing at the foot of a towering mountain, their heart filled with both excitement and trepidation, knowing that the journey ahead will be challenging, demanding, and filled with the unknown. In much the same way, the writing process, when approached without a clear understanding of its scope and its inherent challenges, can often feel overwhelming, daunting, and even paralyzing, making you feel as if the task is too big, too complex, too impossible to complete. But like a skilled mountaineer who understands the importance of pacing and preparation, you can learn to navigate the challenges of writing with greater ease and confidence, transforming the overwhelming task into a journey of joyful exploration. It's about finding the right rhythm, the right pace, and learning how to embrace the journey without being consumed by it. The key to avoiding overwhelm is to break down the writing process into smaller, more manageable steps. Instead of focusing on the end result, the perfectly crafted novel, the flawlessly written scene, concentrate on the present moment, the small, actionable steps that you can take each day, each hour, each moment. It's like a sculptor, not staring at the final masterpiece, but focusing on the single cut, the next curve, the subtle details that will eventually create a work of beauty. Set realistic goals for each writing session, focusing on the specific tasks that you wish to accomplish, whether it's outlining a particular scene, writing a single paragraph, or revising a few pages. Avoid the temptation to try to do everything at once, to create the perfect piece of writing in a single sitting. It is the incremental progress that will eventually build something beautiful and substantial. This small steps approach will help you to create momentum and a sense of achievement, providing a boost of confidence that will fuel your continued progress. Furthermore, establish a consistent writing routine, setting aside a specific time each day for your writing practice. When writing becomes a regular part of your daily schedule, a ritual that you honor, it becomes less of an overwhelming task and more of a natural, organic activity. It's like a musician who practices their instrument at the same time each day, building a habit that allows their skill to grow. This consistent approach will help you to create momentum and a sense of rhythm, making the process feel less daunting and more manageable. Embrace the imperfection of the first draft, allowing yourself the freedom to write without judgment, to make mistakes, to explore ideas without worrying about grammar, punctuation, or structure. The first draft is not meant to be perfect. It's meant to be a raw, unfiltered expression of your ideas, a foundation upon which you can build and refine your story. It's like a potter taking a lump of clay and beginning to shape it, knowing that the final form will take time and effort. The initial form doesn't need to be beautiful. It simply needs to be there. Finally, be patient with yourself, acknowledging that the writing process is not always smooth or easy, that there will be times when you feel stuck, frustrated, and overwhelmed. But these moments are not signs of failure. They're simply a part of the creative journey. When you feel overwhelmed, take a break, step away from your work, and allow yourself time to rest, to recharge, and to reconnect with the source of your inspiration. It's like a gardener, knowing that every season is important and each plant has its own schedule. This break is not a sign of weakness, but a strength, a recognition that your creativity requires nourishment, rest, and the space to breathe. By breaking down the writing process into smaller, more manageable steps, establishing a consistent routine, embracing the imperfection of the first draft, and practicing self-compassion, you can transform the overwhelming task of writing into a joyful, fulfilling, and creative exploration. It's about learning to navigate the challenging terrain of your creative landscape, finding the right path, and developing a rhythm that allows you to bring your stories to life with greater ease, confidence, and joy. It is in this way that you will avoid feeling overwhelmed and will find the flow that will carry you through your work. Embracing the fluidity of the writing process. Imagine a river, constantly changing its course, sometimes flowing gently through a meadow, sometimes surging powerfully over rocks, always adapting to the landscape that surrounds it. In much the same way, the writing process is not a rigid, linear path, but a fluid and dynamic journey, a constant interplay of planning, drafting, and revising, each stage informing the others, each step influencing the next. It's not about forcing your creativity into a predefined shape, but about allowing your process to adapt and evolve, to find its own natural rhythm and flow, allowing your imagination to lead the way. It's not a set of steps to follow, but a dance of discovery. Too often, we approach the writing process as if it were a fixed set of rules, a rigid formula that must be followed in order to achieve success. This approach can lead to frustration, to a feeling of being stuck, to a sense of being overwhelmed by the complexity of the task. We become so focused on doing things right that we forget to allow ourselves the freedom to experiment, to explore, to make mistakes, to discover the unique rhythm of our own creative process. It's like a tightrope walker who, rather than adapting to the sway of the rope, tries to remain completely still, making the performance awkward and unnatural. But what if we chose to embrace the fluidity of the writing process, to allow it to be a dynamic and ever-evolving journey, a constant interplay of exploration, discovery, and refinement? What if we chose to trust our intuition, to listen to the whispers of our imagination, to allow our stories to unfold in their own unique way, without forcing them into a predetermined mold? It's like a jazz musician, improvising on a theme, allowing the music to guide their hand, discovering the beauty in the unexpected, embracing the freedom that comes from letting go. The writing process is not about following a single path. It's about exploring multiple paths, allowing your creativity to lead you in new and unexpected directions. It's about recognizing that the drafting stage may often inspire new ideas for your planning stage, and that the revising stage may often require you to reimagine and redraft aspects of your story. This is not a sign of disorder, but a sign of a vibrant and creative mind at work. It's like a gardener tending a wild garden, allowing each plant to grow in its own way, not imposing rigid structures, but creating a beautiful and dynamic ecosystem. Furthermore, understand that the writing process is unique to each individual writer, that there is no single right way to approach the task, and that what works for one writer may not work for another. Experiment with different techniques, different methods, different routines, to discover what best supports your creative flow, allowing you to write with greater ease, confidence, and joy. It's like a traveler exploring different routes to the same destination, discovering the path that best fits their needs, their pace, and their sense of adventure. By embracing the fluidity of the writing process, you free yourself from the constraints of rigid thinking. You open yourself up to the full spectrum of creative possibilities, and you discover the unique rhythm that will allow your voice to sing with authenticity, depth, and power. It is in this dynamic dance of exploration and refinement that your stories will come alive, and your voice will find its true strength. Developing a writing routine. The importance of consistency in practice. Imagine a clock, its gears turning with unwavering precision, its hands moving in a constant rhythm, marking the passage of time with unwavering regularity. In much the same way, consistent practice is the heart of any successful writing routine, the essential ingredient that transforms sporadic bursts of inspiration into a sustainable, fulfilling, and deeply rewarding creative journey. It's not about waiting for the muse to strike, but about showing up day after day to honor the craft, to hone your skills, and to allow your voice to flourish in the fertile ground of regular practice. It's about the small acts performed daily that will grow into something grand. Consistency in writing is like the steady drip of water, slowly carving its path through the stone, creating a lasting impact over time. It's not the sudden flood of inspiration that makes the greatest difference, but the quiet, persistent effort of showing up each day, of dedicating a portion of your time and energy to the pursuit of your craft. It's about the small acts, the daily words written, the sentences refined, the paragraphs crafted, that accumulate over time to create something truly meaningful. Too often, we approach writing as if it were a sprint, a mad dash to the finish line, driven by fleeting moments of inspiration, rather than a marathon, a long and patient journey that requires dedication, discipline, and consistency. This sporadic approach can lead to frustration, to a feeling of being stuck, to a sense that we are not making progress, and ultimately, to a loss of motivation and a decline in creativity. It's like a gardener who only tends their garden on occasion, neglecting it for long stretches of time, wondering why the plants do not flourish. But what if we chose to approach writing as a daily practice, a ritual that we honor with unwavering commitment? What if we chose to carve out a specific time each day for our writing, a time when we can focus, when we can immerse ourselves in the world of our imagination, and when we can allow our creative energy to flow without distraction? It's like a musician who practices their instrument every day, developing their skills, their strength, and their mastery of their craft through dedication and consistency. Consistency in writing creates a sense of momentum, a powerful force that propels you forward, making it easier to show up each day, to overcome the resistance, and to stay connected to the work. It's like a train gathering speed, the first few rotations of the wheels requiring great effort, but once in motion, it builds its own forward propulsion. The more you write, the easier it becomes to write, the more your creative muscles are strengthened, the more you grow in skill and confidence. Furthermore, consistency creates a space for creativity to blossom, for new ideas to emerge, for your unique voice to develop and find its true strength. It's like a plant, consistently nourished with water and sunlight, finding the strength to reach its full potential. It is the steady rhythm, the quiet dedication to the craft, that unlocks the doors to inspiration, that opens the floodgates of your creative imagination, and that allows your voice to sing with authenticity, clarity, and power. Consistency isn't simply about showing up. It is about giving yourself the space to become the writer you have always dreamed of being. Setting aside dedicated time for writing. Imagine a lighthouse, its lamp burning brightly each night, casting its guiding light across the dark waters, unwavering in its purpose, reliable in its presence. In much the same way, setting aside dedicated time for writing is like creating a sacred space in your day, a time when you can step away from the distractions of the world and fully immerse yourself in the realm of your imagination, allowing your creative spirit to soar, your words to flow, and your stories to take shape. It's about carving out a space for yourself, a time when you honor your creative spirit and allow your voice to be heard. It is in this dedicated time that magic can happen. Too often, we treat writing as if it were an optional activity, something that we will get to when we have time, something that can be easily pushed aside by the demands of our daily lives. This approach can lead to frustration, to a feeling of being stuck, to a sense that our creative dreams are being neglected, leading to a decline in motivation and creativity. It's like a garden that only gets attention when other things have been taken care of, leaving it neglected, overgrown, and unable to thrive. But what if we chose to approach writing as a vital necessity, an essential part of our well-being, an activity that deserves our utmost respect and attention? What if we chose to set aside a specific time each day, a time when we can focus, when we can engage with our creative work with intention, when we can honor the stories that yearn to be told? It's like a musician who sets aside a specific time each day to practice their instrument, understanding that this time is essential for their growth and development. The key is to find a time that works best for you, a time when you are most alert, most focused, and most receptive to the whisper of your muse. It might be early in the morning, before the world has awakened, or late at night, when the house is quiet, or perhaps during a lunch break, a stolen moment of creative freedom in the midst of your day. The important thing is to make it consistent, to make it sacred, and to honor it as if it were an important appointment, a commitment that you have made to yourself and to your creative spirit. It's like making a reservation for the soul, ensuring that you are always given a place at the table. During this dedicated time, create a space that is conducive to writing, a quiet and comfortable environment where you can minimize distractions and fully immerse yourself in your work. It might be a specific room in your house, a corner of your favorite cafe, or even a park bench beneath the shade of a tree. The important thing is that it is a place where you can feel relaxed, at peace, and connected to the wellspring of your creativity. It's a place where the world melts away and the words are free to flow. Setting aside dedicated time for writing is not simply about carving out a space in your schedule. It's about creating a space in your mind, a space where your imagination can roam free, where your voice can be heard, where your stories can be brought to life. It is in this sacred space that you will find the flow, the inspiration, and the joy of writing, and will discover the true potential of your creative spirit. Finding the best environment to cultivate flow. Imagine a gardener carefully selecting the perfect spot for their seedlings, considering the amount of sunlight, the quality of the soil, and the gentle breezes that will nurture their growth. In much the same way, finding the best environment to cultivate flow is like creating a sanctuary for your creative spirit, a place where you can feel safe, inspired, and fully immersed in the act of writing, a space where the distractions of the world fade away, allowing your imagination to roam freely, your words to flow with ease, and your stories to come to life. It is the sanctuary where the magic will be performed. The ideal writing environment is unique to each individual writer. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution, but a deeply personal journey of exploration and discovery. What works for one writer may be a source of distraction for another. The key is to experiment, to explore, to pay attention to the subtle nuances of your creative process, and to discover the space that best supports your unique style and your individual preferences. It's like a bird finding the perfect place to build its nest, a place that provides safety, comfort, and the freedom to sing. Some writers thrive in quiet, secluded environments, places where the only sound is the gentle hum of their own thoughts. They might find a sense of peace and tranquility in a secluded room in their home, a quiet corner of a library, or a remote cabin in the woods, far away from the noise and distractions of the world. For these writers, silence is a source of inspiration, a space where their imagination can roam freely. It is within that silence that their inner voices become amplified. Others, however, find inspiration in the midst of activity, in the vibrant energy of a bustling cafe, the hum of conversations, the clatter of dishes, the ever-changing rhythms of the outside world. For these writers, the presence of others can be a source of inspiration, a reminder of the diverse and complex nature of human experience. The energy of the room becomes the fuel for their own. Some writers prefer a tidy, organized workspace, a place where everything is in its proper place, where distractions are minimized, and where their focus can be laser sharp. For these writers, order is a source of clarity, a space where their thoughts can flow with greater ease and precision. The external order of the space reflects the internal order of the mind. Others, however, find inspiration in a more chaotic, cluttered space, a place where books are piled high, where papers are strewn across the desk, where their creative energy is reflected in the environment around them. For these writers, a certain amount of disorder is a catalyst for creativity, a reminder that perfection is not the goal, and that the messy, unpredictable nature of life is a source of endless inspiration. It's not about finding order, but finding inspiration in the beautiful chaos. The key is to create a space where you feel comfortable, inspired, and free, a space where you can fully immerse yourself in your work, and where your unique voice can be heard without distraction or interference. It's about finding your own personal sanctuary, a place where you can connect with your inner self, listen to the whispers of your heart, and allow your stories to come to life with greater ease, authenticity, and joy. Writing without self-censorship. Letting go of internal judgment while writing. Imagine a dancer, poised to leap across the stage, not constrained by self-doubt or fear of imperfection, but rather surrendering to the rhythm of the music, allowing their body to move freely, to express the raw emotion of the moment, unburdened by the critical eye of the observer. In much the same way, letting go of internal judgment while writing is like unleashing your creative spirit, freeing yourself from the constraints of self-criticism, allowing your voice to flow without hesitation, and your stories to unfold with their own unique rhythm and cadence. It's about freeing the wild and untamed parts of your imagination, allowing yourself to explore the possibilities without being held back by the fear of imperfection. It is the dance you have always yearned to make. Too often, we approach writing with a critical eye, judging every word, every sentence, every paragraph, before it even has a chance to fully form. This internal censor, this harsh taskmaster, can stifle our creativity, making us hesitant to take risks, afraid to make mistakes, and reluctant to explore the full spectrum of our imagination. It's like a bird with clipped wings, unable to soar because of the fear of falling. We become so focused on what is wrong that we lose sight of the beauty, the potential, and the raw energy of our ideas. But what if we chose to silence the internal critic, to allow our creative spirit to roam free, to write without judgment, to embrace the imperfections, and to allow our stories to unfold with their own unique flow and cadence? What if we chose to approach writing with the same openness, playfulness, and lack of self-consciousness that we might bring to a childhood game? It's like a painter allowing themselves to splash paint onto a canvas without a plan, letting the colors guide their hand in unexpected directions. When you let go of internal judgment, you create a space for your creativity to flourish, allowing your imagination to soar, your voice to find its true strength, and your stories to take on a life of their own. You allow yourself to explore the full spectrum of human emotion, to delve into the depths of your characters, and to create worlds that are both compelling and authentic. It's like a musician, no longer worrying about playing the right notes, but surrendering to the rhythm and melody that pours forth from their very soul. Furthermore, by silencing the internal critic, you free yourself from the shackles of perfectionism, allowing yourself to write freely, to embrace the messiness of the creative process, and to see the beauty in the unexpected detours and discoveries. It's like a river, not trying to control its course, but allowing itself to be guided by the landscape, sometimes flowing smoothly, sometimes crashing over rocks, always moving forward, always changing, always adapting. It is in this free-flowing process that you find the magic that only you can create. Writing without self-censorship is not about abandoning all sense of craft. It's about liberating your creative spirit, allowing your ideas to flow without inhibition, and discovering the raw and untamed power that lies within your unique voice. It's about honoring the messy, unpredictable nature of the creative process and trusting that, in the end, your story will find its own way to the light. The value of writing freely in early drafts. Imagine a potter taking a lump of raw clay, not meticulously shaping it into a perfect form at the first touch, but rather allowing their hands to explore the possibilities, to feel the texture of the clay, to discover the forms that lie hidden within its depths. This, my friend, is the essence of writing freely in early drafts, the willingness to allow your ideas to flow without constraint, to embrace the messiness of the creative process, and to discover the potential that lies hidden within the raw material of your imagination. It's not about creating a masterpiece in the first attempt, but about giving your story the space to grow, to evolve, and to find its own authentic form. It's the initial bloom of an idea that only time and further shaping can make beautiful. Too often, we approach early drafts with a critical eye, striving for perfection from the very beginning, trying to create flawless sentences, compelling characters, and a perfectly structured plot, even before the story has had a chance to breathe. This approach can be stifling, preventing us from exploring the full potential of our ideas, making the process feel arduous and overwhelming. It's like a gardener who tries to shape the seedlings before they have a chance to take root, stifling their natural growth and hindering their potential for beauty. But what if we chose to embrace the freedom of the early draft, to allow ourselves to write without judgment, to make mistakes, to explore the unknown, and to discover the unexpected treasures that might lie hidden within the chaos? What if we chose to treat the early draft as a playground, a space where we can experiment, where we can play with language, where we can allow our imagination to soar without fear of failure. It's like a child exploring a new world, not concerned with rules or boundaries, but simply curious, delighted by the possibilities, and unafraid to stumble along the way. When you write freely in early drafts, you allow your ideas to take shape organically, without the constraints of logic, structure, or perfection. You give your characters the space to speak in their own voices, to reveal their motivations, and to surprise you with their unpredictable actions. You allow your plot to unfold naturally, following the threads of your imagination, discovering the hidden connections and unexpected turns that make your story unique. It's like a river finding its way to the sea, not following a predetermined course, but adapting to the terrain, carving its own path, finding its own rhythm and flow. Furthermore, by writing freely in early drafts, you bypass the internal censor, the critical voice that can stifle creativity and prevent your voice from finding its true strength. You create a space for your raw, unfiltered ideas to emerge, a space for your unique perspective to be heard, and a space where you can discover the power and potential of your own creative spirit. It is in the chaos of the early draft that you uncover the truth of your own story. The early draft is not meant to be a finished product. It's meant to be a starting point, a foundation upon which you can build your story, refine your voice, and bring your vision to life. It is in this freedom that your story will find its true form, revealing the beauty and the power that were always there, hidden within the chaos, waiting to be discovered. How to refine and edit your voice later. Imagine a sculptor, having initially shaped a figure from raw clay, stepping back to observe their creation with fresh eyes, carefully refining the form, smoothing the rough edges, and adding the details that will bring the figure to life. In much the same way, refining and editing your voice is like returning to your story with a critical yet compassionate eye, allowing yourself the space to reshape, to polish, to enhance the elements that make your writing unique, without diminishing its authentic spirit or silencing the heart of your message. It's not about imposing a new voice, but about bringing to light the voice that has always been there, and allowing it to shine with clarity and power. It's about the slow work of making something great. Too often, we approach editing with a heavy hand, trying to completely transform our work, to force it into a shape that conforms to some preconceived notion of perfection. This approach can lead to a loss of authenticity, a stifling of our unique voice, and a depletion of the creative energy that fueled the initial draft. It's like a gardener who, instead of tending to their plants with care, tries to reshape them with harsh cuts, leaving them wounded and weakened. But what if we chose to approach editing not as a process of destruction, but as a process of refinement, a way to amplify the strengths of our work, to enhance the nuances of our voice, and to bring our stories to their full potential? What if we chose to see it not as an act of correction, but as an opportunity for growth, a chance to hone our craft, and to connect with our readers in a more meaningful way? It's like a musician returning to their composition, not to erase the initial melody, but to find the harmonies that will make it soar. When you approach editing with this mindset, you allow your authentic voice to remain at the forefront, guiding your decisions and shaping the revisions that you make. You focus not on imposing a new voice, but on refining the voice that already exists, on removing the distractions that might obscure its clarity, and on highlighting the elements that make it unique. It's about stripping away the unnecessary to reveal the truth that lies beneath. The editing process is not about making your writing perfect. It's about making it clear, compelling, and true to your unique vision. It's about paying attention to the rhythm and flow of your sentences, the power of your metaphors, and the emotional impact of your words. It is the steady work that will allow the original piece to sing with a greater voice. It's about listening to the whispers of your inner critic, not to silence them, but to engage with their insights and to use them to strengthen your work. Furthermore, editing is also an opportunity to step back from your work, to see it with fresh eyes, to identify the areas where it could be stronger, and to make the necessary adjustments to ensure that your message is clear, your characters are compelling, and your stories resonate with emotional truth. It's like a painter stepping back from their canvas, allowing themselves to see the work as a whole, to identify the areas that need further attention, and to make the final touches that will bring the work to its completion. The key is to remember that your voice is not static, it's a dynamic and ever-evolving force. and that the editing process is an opportunity to help it grow, to become stronger, to become more authentic, and to connect with your readers in a more profound way. It is in this slow work that you will find the best expression of yourself. The editing process is not an end to the story, but a continued exploration of it. Chapter 6. Refining your voice and style. Revisiting and revising your work. Techniques for self-editing without losing authenticity. Imagine an antique clock, its intricate gears and delicate mechanisms carefully crafted, yet in need of gentle adjustment, a subtle refinement to ensure that it keeps time with accuracy and grace. In much the same way, self-editing is not about dismantling your work or forcing it into a new shape, but rather about carefully revisiting your words, your sentences, your paragraphs, and gently refining them, ensuring that they resonate with the authenticity of your voice, and that they tell your story with clarity and power. It's about the delicate art of enhancing what's already there, allowing your unique voice to shine even brighter. It's the polishing of the gem you already hold in your hands. Too often, we approach self-editing with a heavy hand, with a desire to completely transform our work, to erase the parts that feel imperfect, to impose a new voice or a different perspective, often losing the very qualities that made our work unique. And in doing so, we often lose that part of ourselves that made the work great. We become so focused on what we perceive as flaws that we forget to appreciate the strengths, the beauty, and the raw energy that lies at the heart of our writing. It's like a gardener who, instead of carefully pruning their plants, uproots them and tries to replant them in a different soil, causing them to wither. But what if we chose to approach self-editing with a gentler hand, with a more compassionate eye, with a focus on enhancing, not erasing, on refining, not transforming, on making our work stronger, clearer, and more resonant with the authenticity of our voice? What if we chose to see self-editing not as a chore, but as an opportunity, a chance to engage more deeply with our words, to uncover the hidden potential within our stories, and to connect with our readers in a more profound way? It's like a jeweler carefully polishing a gem, revealing the brilliance and the depth of its inner beauty. One essential technique for self-editing is to step away from your work for a period of time, allowing yourself a period of rest and reflection, creating a sense of distance that will allow you to see your work with fresh eyes. It's like stepping back from a painting, allowing your vision to take in the whole canvas, the overall composition, the balance of colors and forms, not getting lost in the small details. When you return to your work, read it aloud, listening to the rhythm and cadence of your sentences, paying attention to the way your words flow, the way your story unfolds. Listen for any awkward phrases, any confusing sentences, any areas where your voice might be lost or muffled. This process will allow you to identify areas for improvement without losing sight of the authentic heart of your message. It's like a musician listening to the playback of their performance, noticing where the melody can be refined, where the rhythm can be enhanced. Furthermore, focus on clarifying your ideas, strengthening your characters, and ensuring that the story structure is clear and compelling. Be mindful of your word choice, making sure that each word contributes to the overall impact of your writing. It is not about deleting for the sake of deleting, but rather about cutting away the dead wood to allow the living branches to flourish. Self-editing is not about imposing a new voice on your work. It's about allowing your unique voice to shine even brighter. It's about taking the time to refine and shape your work with an awareness of how your authentic voice will be the force that pulls your reader in and leaves them forever changed. The balance between refining and overworking. Imagine a sculptor carefully chiseling away at a block of stone, their hands moving with a delicate balance of precision and intuition, knowing when to refine the form with minute detail, and when to step back and allow the raw beauty of the material to speak for itself. In much the same way, the journey of self-editing requires a delicate balance, a careful awareness of the line between refining your work to its full potential and overworking it to the point of losing its original spark and authenticity. It's like tending a garden, knowing when to prune the plants to encourage growth and when to leave them to their own wild and beautiful nature. The trick is knowing when to leave it alone. Too often, we approach self-editing with a relentless desire for perfection, a tendency to overanalyze and overcorrect our work, endlessly tweaking our words, obsessing over minute details, and ultimately losing the original energy, spontaneity, and heart of our stories. This relentless pursuit of perfection can lead to a sense of frustration, a loss of creative momentum, and a stifling of our unique voice. It's like a baker who keeps adding ingredients to a cake, trying to make it taste better, until it is no longer a cake at all. But what if we chose to approach self-editing with a sense of balance, with an awareness of the point at which refining becomes overworking, of the delicate dance between enhancing our work and letting it be? What if we chose to trust our intuition, to listen to the whispers of our creative spirit, and to know when it's time to step away, to allow our work to breathe, and to allow it to shine with its own unique beauty? It's like a musician who knows when to stop practicing and allow the music to be performed, knowing that the performance is where the real magic lies. The key is to cultivate a sense of self-awareness, to pay attention to the subtle signals that indicate when you have reached the point of diminishing returns, when further editing will not enhance your work, but will only diminish its originality and power. Learn to trust your instincts, to listen to your gut, to recognize the moment when the work feels complete, when it rings with truth and authenticity. It's like a traveler who has reached their destination, feeling the sense of completion, the knowledge that it is time to rest and admire the landscape. Furthermore, embrace the imperfections in your work, understanding that these are the very qualities that make your voice unique, that add depth and texture to your stories, and that allow your readers to connect with you on a more human level. Do not strive for a sterile perfection, but embrace the messy, unpredictable beauty of the creative process. It is often in the imperfections that beauty and uniqueness reside. The balance between refining and overworking is not a fixed point. It's a dynamic and ever-changing process that requires flexibility, adaptability, and a willingness to trust yourself. It's about recognizing that the goal of editing is not to create a perfect piece of writing, but to create a work that is authentic, compelling, and true to your unique voice. It is in this subtle dance that you will learn how to make the best use of your words. It's about knowing when to hold on and when to let go, allowing your stories to be both refined and true to the original vision. How to evaluate if your voice is consistently present. Imagine a compass, its needle pointing steadfastly towards the north, providing a reliable sense of direction, guiding the traveler through the vast and sometimes disorienting landscape. In much the same way, a consistent writing voice is like a compass for your reader, a steady and reliable presence that guides them through your stories, creating a sense of familiarity, authenticity, and a connection that transcends the words on the page. It's not about having a single, unchanging tone, but rather an underlying essence, a unique rhythm, a recognizable signature that permeates all of your work, the unique mark that lets your reader know that you, and only you, are telling the story. It is the constant, the reliable, the singular element that will guide your reader. Too often, our voices become lost or diluted, not through intention but through a lack of awareness, a tendency to adopt different tones, different styles, different perspectives in an attempt to please, to impress, or to conform to some imagined standard of good writing. This inconsistency can leave our readers feeling disoriented, disconnected, and unsure of who is actually telling the story. It's like a traveler who keeps changing their guide, unsure of their destination, lost in the vastness of the unknown. But what if we chose to approach our writing with a greater sense of self-awareness, with a conscious effort to evaluate the consistency of our voice, to ensure that our authentic presence permeates every aspect of our work? What if we chose to see our stories not as isolated pieces, but as part of a larger tapestry, a collection of voices that are woven together by a common thread, the unique rhythm and melody of our own unique spirit? It's like a musician, not only focusing on each individual note, but ensuring that every note, every phrase, every movement contributes to the overall harmony and power of their performance. One effective way to evaluate the consistency of your voice is to step back from your work, to read it with fresh eyes, to listen to the way your words flow, to feel the emotional resonance of your sentences, paying close attention to the subtle nuances that make your voice unique. It's like rereading a letter from a past self, hearing their voice, noticing the turns of phrase, the cadence, and the emotional tenor of their words. Ask yourself, does my writing sound like me? Does my voice feel authentic and true, or does it feel forced or contrived? Do my characters speak with their own distinct voices, or do they all sound like me? Does the tone of my narrative remain consistent, or does it fluctuate unpredictably? These questions are the compass that will guide you toward a clearer understanding of your voice, helping you to evaluate its consistency throughout your work. It is through this process that you will discover your truth. Furthermore, pay attention to the elements that you recognize as your personal signatures, the recurring themes, the stylistic choices, the unique turns of phrase that are characteristic of your voice. Are these elements present throughout your work? Are they consistent? Are they authentic? It is this kind of self-awareness that will ensure that your voice is a constant, reliable force throughout all that you write. The consistency of your voice is not about creating a rigid, unyielding style. It's about developing a strong, authentic presence that permeates every aspect of your work, that allows your readers to connect with you on a deeply personal level, and that leaves a lasting impression long after the final page has been turned. It is in this consistency that you will find the greatest strength, the greatest beauty, and the greatest power of your own unique voice. Seeking constructive feedback. The value of critique from trusted readers or writing groups. Imagine a blacksmith carefully examining their newly forged sword, not only with their own experienced eye, but also seeking the insight of other skilled craftspeople, understanding that their collective wisdom can help to refine the blade to ensure its strength, its balance, and its lasting sharpness. In much the same way, seeking constructive feedback from trusted readers or writing groups is not an admission of weakness, but a powerful tool for growth, a way to see your work through different eyes, to uncover its hidden potential, and to refine your voice to its most authentic and compelling form. It's like having a series of mirrors to reflect your work, each one giving you a different perspective. Too often, we approach our writing as if it were a solitary endeavor, keeping our work hidden from the world, fearful of criticism, hesitant to embrace the perspectives of others, and in doing so, limiting our capacity for growth and development. We become so attached to our work, so immersed in the world we have created, that we can no longer see it objectively, missing the subtle nuances, the hidden flaws, and the opportunities for improvement. It's like a gardener who never asks for advice, unaware of the ways in which their garden could flourish even more beautifully. But what if we chose to embrace the power of community, to seek out the perspectives of trusted readers and fellow writers, to allow their insights to guide us, to challenge us, to help us see our work in new and unexpected ways? What if we chose to see critique not as a threat, but as a gift, an invaluable source of feedback that can help us to grow as writers, to develop our unique voices, and to connect with our readers in a more meaningful way? It's like a musician performing in front of an audience, their feedback helping to hone the performance and refine the art. Trusted readers and writing groups can provide a fresh perspective on your work, identifying areas where your story might be unclear, your characters might lack depth, or your voice might be inconsistent. They can help you to see your work with greater objectivity, highlighting the strengths that you might have overlooked and pointing out the weaknesses that you might have been hesitant to acknowledge. It's like a traveler who has reached a crossroads, consulting a map, seeking guidance from others to ensure they choose the right path. Furthermore, the feedback that you receive from trusted readers or writing groups can be incredibly valuable for understanding how your work is being received by others, for seeing how your words are impacting your audience, and for gaining a deeper sense of the emotional resonance of your stories. It's like holding up a mirror to your work, seeing how others see it and learning what impacts it has. The value of critique is not about receiving praise. It is about receiving honest and constructive feedback, about having your work challenged, about being pushed beyond your comfort zone, about being encouraged to grow, to experiment, and to develop your unique voice. It's about creating a community of support, a space where you can learn from others, where you can share your stories, and where you can become the best writer that you can possibly be. It is a way to see yourself and your work with greater clarity, asking the right questions to identify voice-related improvements. Imagine a skilled artisan carefully examining their work, not with a vague sense of satisfaction, but with a series of specific and focused questions, seeking to understand the nuances of their craft, to identify the areas where their skills can be refined, and to bring their creation to its full potential. In much the same way, seeking constructive feedback on your writing is not simply about receiving general opinions, but about asking the right questions, about focusing your attention on the specific aspects of your work that relate to your unique voice, and about creating a framework for receiving feedback that will help you to grow and to develop your craft. It is the art of asking questions that will bring light to the hidden corners of your stories. Too often, we approach feedback with a vague hope for validation, asking broad, general questions such as, "Did you like it?" or "Was it good?" These questions, while well-intentioned, often fail to provide the specific insights that can help us to improve our work. They are like asking a traveler, "Did you like the trip?" without knowing where they went, what they did, or what they experienced along the way. The lack of detail provides little of use. But what if we chose to approach feedback with greater intentionality, with a clear understanding of what we are seeking to learn, with a set of focused questions that will illuminate the aspects of our writing that relate specifically to our voice? What if we chose to use critique not as a source of validation, but as a valuable tool for self-discovery, as a way to identify the strengths and weaknesses of our unique style, and as a path toward greater clarity and authenticity? It's like a scientist conducting an experiment, formulating specific hypotheses, asking precise questions, and seeking answers that will deepen their understanding of the natural world. When seeking feedback, ask your trusted readers or writing groups to pay attention to specific elements of your work that are directly related to your voice, such as, does the tone feel consistent? Does the narrative feel authentic to your unique perspective? Do the characters speak with distinct voices, or do they all sound the same? Are there any areas where the pacing feels off, or where the rhythm of the prose feels disjointed? It is through specific questions that you will find specific answers. Ask them to comment on your word choice, your use of imagery, and the way in which you create a sense of place and atmosphere. These are the elements that contribute most significantly to the unique texture of your voice, and understanding how they are perceived by your readers can provide invaluable insight into your strengths and areas for growth. It's like an architect showing their design and asking, how does the light interact with the space? How does it feel to move through the rooms? Furthermore, ask them to focus on the emotional impact of your work, the way that it resonates with their feelings, the way that it connects with them on a personal level. Does your work evoke the emotions that you intended? Do your characters feel relatable? Do your stories leave a lasting impression? This type of feedback can be incredibly valuable for understanding the power of your voice and its capacity to move, to inspire, and to connect with your readers. It is in the answers to these questions that you will learn more about your own creative spirit. By asking the right questions, by focusing your attention on the elements that contribute most significantly to your unique voice, and by seeking feedback from trusted sources, you can transform critique from a source of anxiety into a powerful tool for growth, allowing your voice to become stronger, more authentic, and more compelling with each story you tell. It is through this focus that you will truly hear the echoes of your creative spirit, filtering feedback that aligns with your authentic style. Imagine a wise old tree, its branches reaching towards the sky, its roots running deep into the earth, its trunk bearing the marks of countless seasons, not swayed by every breeze that passes through its leaves, but rather discerning which forces will nourish its growth and which will lead it astray. In much the same way, learning to filter the feedback you receive on your writing is a crucial skill for developing a strong and authentic voice, allowing you to embrace the insights that resonate with your unique style and gently disregard the perspectives that do not serve your creative vision. It is the art of knowing what to keep and what to let go, allowing your unique spirit to guide your creative decisions. Too often, we approach feedback as if it were a set of commandments, feeling compelled to implement every suggestion, to conform to every opinion, to lose ourselves in the chorus of voices that seek to shape our work, often resulting in a loss of authenticity, a stifling of our unique voice, and a feeling of being pulled in multiple directions at once. This approach is like a ship tossed about by the waves, with no guiding star or fixed course. But what if we chose to approach feedback with greater discernment, with a conscious understanding of our own creative vision, and with a commitment to honoring the authenticity of our own voice? What if we chose to see critique not as a series of mandates, but as a collection of perspectives, as an opportunity to engage with our work in a more thoughtful way, to consider alternative viewpoints, and to ultimately make decisions that align with our unique style and creative values? It's like a chef, carefully tasting each ingredient, knowing which flavors will complement their dish and which will clash, crafting a meal that is true to their vision. The key is to develop a strong sense of self-awareness, to understand what makes your voice unique, what resonates most deeply with your creative spirit, what is authentic to your personal expression. It's about knowing who you are as a writer, what you stand for, what you believe, and what you wish to convey through your work. It is in this self-knowledge that you will find the strength to make your own way. When you receive feedback, listen with an open mind, consider the perspectives of others, but do not allow their opinions to override your own inner compass. Ask yourself, does this feedback align with my creative vision? Does it resonate with my unique voice? Does it feel authentic to my personal style? If the answer is yes, then embrace the insight and use it to strengthen your work. If the answer is no, then gently disregard the perspective, trusting that you know your voice better than anyone else. It is the strength that comes from this self-trust that will allow your creativity to bloom. Furthermore, understand that not all feedback is created equal, and that some perspectives will be more valuable than others. Seek out feedback from trusted readers, from fellow writers who understand your style, and from individuals who have a genuine interest in your growth as a writer. Their insights will be the most valuable, and their feedback will be the most likely to align with your authentic voice. The right voices are those that will help you see more clearly. By learning to filter the feedback that you receive, you will become the master of your own creative journey, making decisions that honor the authenticity of your voice, strengthening your unique style, and bringing your stories to life with greater clarity, power, and resonance. It is in this way that you will shape your work into the unique expression that only you can provide. Developing your unique signature. Identifying your writing quirks and strengths. Imagine a master painter, their brushstrokes instantly recognizable, their palette imbued with a unique blend of colors, their canvases bearing the indelible mark of their individual style. It's not just about their skill, but about the subtle nuances, the recurring patterns, the unexpected flourishes that make their work instantly recognizable. In much the same way, every writer possesses their own unique signature, a collection of quirks and strengths that, when embraced, will allow their voice to resonate with individuality, power, and authenticity. It is the unique way that your creative spirit reveals itself to the world, the signature that makes you you. Too often, we try to hide our quirks, to smooth over our perceived imperfections, to conform to some imagined standard of good writing, often resulting in a loss of individuality, a stifling of our unique voice, and a feeling of being just another writer in a vast and often indistinguishable crowd. We become so focused on what we perceive as our weaknesses that we lose sight of our strengths, forgetting that it is precisely these strengths that will make our writing stand out from the rest. It is by smoothing over the unique texture of your writing that you risk losing your distinctive mark on the world. But what if we chose to embrace our quirks, to celebrate our strengths, to recognize that these are the very elements that make our voices unique, that make our stories compelling, that make our writing truly our own? What if we chose to see our imperfections not as flaws, but as unique features, as elements of our signature style, as the very qualities that will draw our readers in and keep them coming back for more? It's like a musician who embraces their distinctive timbre, their unique phrasing, their singular way of expressing themselves through music, knowing that these are the very qualities that will make their performance unforgettable. The first step in developing your unique signature is to become aware of your writing quirks and strengths. Pay close attention to the elements of your writing that feel most natural to you, the stylistic choices that you gravitate towards, the themes that you find yourself returning to again and again. It's like a detective carefully examining the clues, following the threads of evidence, seeking to understand the underlying patterns of a mystery. Do you tend to favor long, flowing sentences or short, punchy ones? Do you have a penchant for vivid imagery, for strong metaphors, for playful language, or for stark realism? Do you tend to focus on character development, on plot construction, on world building, or on the exploration of complex themes? These are the very elements that make your voice your own, that set you apart from every other writer, that create a singular presence in the vast world of literature. It is in these specific traits that you will find your unique mark. Furthermore, identify the emotions that you most often seek to evoke in your readers, the feelings that you are most passionate about exploring. Do you gravitate toward the whimsical, the wondrous, the joyous? Or do you prefer to delve into the darker side of human experience, exploring themes of loss, longing, and despair? This emotional palette, the unique way in which you express your feelings through language, is another element that contributes to your unique signature. The way you make your reader feel will make your work unforgettable. Embracing your quirks and celebrating your strengths is not about becoming a caricature of yourself. It's about honoring the authenticity of your voice, allowing your individuality to shine through, and developing a unique signature that will make your writing instantly recognizable. It's about understanding yourself and using that knowledge to craft the truest expression of your creativity, finding what makes your voice stand out from others. Imagine a constellation, its stars arranged in a pattern unlike any other, each one shining with its own unique light, its own distinct color, its own singular intensity. In much the same way, finding what makes your voice stand out from others is about recognizing the specific elements that set your writing apart, the unique blend of quirks and strengths, the particular perspectives, and the singular rhythms that combine to create a voice that is distinctly yours. It's about understanding what makes your stories unforgettable and leaning into those elements that will make your work uniquely your own. It is the process of discovering how you shine in the vast expanse of literature. Too often, we try to emulate the voices of others, striving to sound like our favorite authors, adopting their techniques, mimicking their styles, often resulting in a loss of individuality, a stifling of our unique voice, and a feeling of being just another echo in the vast chorus of writers who have come before us. We become so focused on what others are doing that we lose sight of what makes us different, forgetting that it is precisely this difference that will make our writing memorable. It is the attempt to blend in that will make you invisible. But what if we chose to celebrate our differences, to embrace the qualities that make our voice stand out from the rest, to recognize that our unique perspective is a valuable contribution to the vast world of literature? What if we chose to focus not on fitting in, but on standing out, on allowing our individuality to shine through, and on developing a voice that is not merely good, but unforgettable? It's like a musician who, instead of trying to sound like everyone else, explores their own unique voice, their own singular phrasing, their own way of creating magic with music, knowing that it is precisely this difference that will make their performance resonate. The key is to identify the specific elements of your writing that are most distinctive, the qualities that set you apart from other writers, the aspects of your work that are most likely to leave a lasting impression on your readers. What is it about your writing that makes it yours? What is the unique magic that you, and only you, can bring to the page? It's the heart of the mystery, the secret that you carry within your creative spirit. Do you have a particular way of creating a sense of atmosphere, a unique ability to transport your readers to another time or place? Do you have a penchant for crafting compelling characters, for exploring the complexities of human relationships, or for creating worlds that are both fantastical and believable? Do you have a distinctive way of using language, a unique rhythm, a particular tone, or a recurring motif that permeates all of your work? It's the little things, the subtle touches, the unique blend of all that you have to offer. Furthermore, think about the way that you use metaphor and simile, the connections that you make between seemingly unrelated ideas, the images that you use to illuminate your stories. These are the very elements that give your writing its unique flavor, its distinct texture, its undeniable authenticity. It is in these connections that your unique voice is most revealed. Embracing what makes your voice stand out from others is not about becoming a caricature of yourself. It's about honoring your individuality, about recognizing the value of your unique perspective, about allowing your voice to sing with its own unique melody, and about creating stories that are not just good, but unforgettable. It is about discovering the unique star pattern that only you can create. How to consistently apply your signature style in future projects. Imagine a weaver carefully selecting the threads for their tapestry, each color, each texture, each strand carefully chosen to create a pattern that is both intricate and harmonious, a design that is instantly recognizable as the work of a single, unique artist. In much the same way, consistently applying your signature style in future projects is about understanding the key elements that make your voice unique, about consciously selecting the tools and techniques that will best express your vision, and about creating a thread of consistency that will bind all of your work together, forming a tapestry of stories that are all unmistakably yours. It is the steady hand that will shape all that you will create. Too often, we approach each new project as if it were a blank slate, a complete departure from everything that has come before, forgetting the valuable lessons that we have learned, neglecting the strengths that we have developed, and allowing our voices to become fragmented, inconsistent, and ultimately unmemorable. We become so focused on the new that we lose sight of the continuity, the thread that runs through everything that we create, the unique patterns that make our work our own. It's like a musician who starts each new composition as if they have never played before, neglecting the skills and the style they have cultivated over a lifetime. But what if we chose to approach each new project with a sense of awareness, with a conscious effort to apply the unique elements of our signature style, with a commitment to honoring the authenticity of our voice, and with a desire to create work that is both original and recognizably ours? What if we chose to see each new story as an opportunity to explore the full potential of our voice, to strengthen our skills, to refine our techniques, and to create a lasting body of work that is bound together by a common thread of originality and authenticity? It's like a chef who, having perfected a signature dish, carefully applies the same techniques, the same ingredients, and the same sense of artistry to every new meal they create, resulting in a culinary experience that is both familiar and unique, always unmistakably theirs. The key is to develop a conscious awareness of your signature style, to understand the unique combination of quirks and strengths, of themes and perspectives, of stylistic choices and linguistic patterns that make your voice stand out from the rest. It's about knowing yourself, understanding your unique creative spirit, and honoring your authentic expression. Before beginning each new project, take the time to reflect on your previous work, to revisit the stories that resonate most deeply with you, to identify the elements that make your voice unique, and to consciously plan how these elements will be integrated into your new work. It's like an architect drawing up a blueprint, carefully considering how the various elements will come together to create a building that is both functional and beautiful. Furthermore, as you write, pay attention to the choices that you are making, the words that you are selecting, the images that you are creating, and ensure that these choices align with your signature style, with the unique voice that you have cultivated over time. It is the act of making conscious choices that will allow you to apply your signature style to each new story that you create. The consistent application of your signature style is not about repeating the same story over and over again. It's about building on the foundation of your unique voice, about exploring its full potential, about experimenting with new ideas and new techniques, while remaining true to the core elements that make your work your own. It is in this balance that you will create a legacy of stories that are unforgettable. It is the act of returning to the well again and again, and allowing your unique voice to flourish in each new world you create. Chapter 7. Writing with Confidence and Consistency. Trusting your voice. How to stop second-guessing your writing. Imagine a tightrope walker, poised high above the ground, their every step marked not by hesitation and doubt, but by a deep and unwavering trust in their own abilities, a sense of confidence that allows them to move with grace, precision, and a fearless sense of balance. In much the same way, learning to stop second-guessing your writing is about cultivating a deep and abiding trust in your own voice, an unshakable belief in your creative vision, and a willingness to embrace the imperfections, to honor the unique qualities that make your stories your own. It's about freeing yourself from the tyranny of self-doubt and stepping into the light of your creative power. It is about allowing yourself to fly. Too often, we approach our writing with a sense of unease, with a constant stream of negative thoughts, with a tendency to doubt our every word, to question every sentence, and to second-guess every decision, often resulting in a loss of momentum, a stifling of our creativity, and a feeling of being trapped in a cycle of self-criticism. This constant second-guessing is like a shadow that follows you everywhere, whispering doubts in your ear, undermining your confidence, and preventing you from fully expressing your unique voice. It is the unseen force that keeps you from truly being seen. But what if we chose to silence the inner critic, to embrace the courage of our convictions, to trust that our voices are worthy, that our stories are valuable, and that our unique perspectives are essential to the rich tapestry of human expression. What if we chose to approach writing with the same sense of confidence and unwavering belief that a musician brings to their instrument, a dancer to their movements, or an artist to their canvas? It's like a child building a sandcastle, not worrying about perfection, but fully embracing the joy of creation, letting their imagination run free without hesitation or self-doubt. The key is to develop a deep and abiding trust in your own creative instincts, to believe that you have something valuable to offer the world, and to know that your unique voice is worthy of being heard. This trust is not something that is bestowed upon you by others. It's something that you must cultivate within yourself through consistent practice, self-reflection, and a commitment to honoring the authenticity of your creative spirit. It is a muscle that grows stronger with every act of courage. Furthermore, when you begin to second-guess your writing, take a deep breath, step back from your work, and remind yourself of all the times when you have succeeded, when your voice has been clear, your stories compelling, and your words have resonated with power. It is through remembering your past successes that you will find the courage to keep going. Embrace the imperfections, the flaws, and the unexpected twists and turns that make your writing unique. Recognize that these are not signs of weakness, but rather signs of authenticity, indications that your voice is genuine, that your perspective is unique, and that your stories are worthy of being shared. It is in those imperfect moments that the beauty of your own voice shines through. Learning to stop second-guessing your writing is not about becoming immune to self-doubt. It's about developing a more resilient mindset, a stronger sense of self-belief, and a deeper understanding of your own creative power. It's about trusting the path that you have chosen and allowing your unique voice to be heard with confidence, clarity, and unwavering authenticity. Overcoming the fear of judgment from others. Imagine a lone tree, standing tall and proud against the winds, its roots running deep into the earth, its branches reaching towards the sky, unconcerned with the whispers of the forest, the judgments of the other trees, or the opinions of the passing birds. In much the same way, overcoming the fear of judgment from others is about cultivating an unwavering sense of self-belief, an unshakable trust in your unique voice, and a commitment to honoring your creative vision, regardless of the opinions and criticisms that may come your way. It's about becoming a force of nature, unswayed by the opinions of those around you. It is about knowing your own worth. Too often, we allow the fear of judgment to stifle our creativity, to silence our voices, and to prevent us from sharing our stories with the world. We worry about what others will think, about the negative comments, the harsh reviews, the criticism from friends, family, or even strangers, often resulting in a loss of authenticity, a stifling of our unique voice, and a feeling of being trapped by the opinions of others. This fear of judgment is like an invisible cage, keeping you from venturing out into the world. But what if we chose to embrace our vulnerability, to accept the reality that not everyone will love our work, and to trust that our unique perspectives are valuable, that our stories are worthy of being heard, and that the people who are meant to connect with our voice will find us? What if we chose to focus not on pleasing others, but on expressing our authentic truth, on sharing our unique perspectives, and on creating work that is both meaningful and compelling, regardless of the opinions of others? It's like a lighthouse, not concerned with the passing boats, but steadfast in its purpose, guiding those who seek its light. The key is to understand that you cannot control the opinions of others, that there will always be people who will criticize, who will judge, who will seek to diminish the value of your work, and that their opinions are ultimately a reflection of themselves, not a reflection of your worth as a writer. It is in releasing yourself from this need for external validation that you will find true freedom. Furthermore, remind yourself that there is a vast and diverse audience in the world, and that there are people who will resonate with your voice, who will connect with your stories, who will appreciate your unique perspectives, who will be deeply moved by your work. These are the people who you should write for, not for the imagined critics who may never understand what you're trying to say. It is in connecting with your true audience that you will find the meaning and the value of your work. The path to overcoming the fear of judgment is not about becoming immune to criticism. It's about developing a more resilient mindset, a stronger sense of self-belief, and a deeper commitment to honoring the authenticity of your creative vision. It's about understanding that not everyone will love your stories, and that is okay. That what matters most is that you love what you are creating and that you remain true to your own voice. It is about understanding that your voice is unique, is valuable, and deserves to be heard. It is in embracing your vulnerabilities that you will find the strength to fly, trusting that your unique voice will resonate with readers. Imagine a melody, unique in its phrasing, its rhythm, and its emotional tenor, a song that has never been heard before. Yet when played, it touches the hearts of those who listen, creating a sense of recognition, a feeling of belonging, a deep and profound connection that transcends the boundaries of language and culture. In much the same way, trusting that your unique voice will resonate with readers is about believing in the power of your authentic expression, in the value of your individual perspective, and in the capacity of your stories to connect with others on a deeply human level, trusting that when you are true to yourself, that you will touch the hearts of those who were meant to hear your unique music. Too often, we doubt the value of our unique voices, fearful that our perspectives are not interesting, that our stories are not worthy, and that our words will fall on deaf ears, never finding their way to the hearts of those who might truly appreciate them. This self-doubt can stifle our creativity, leading us to conform to trends, to mimic other voices, and to lose our authentic selves in the process. We become so focused on pleasing everyone that we forget the power of our own unique expression, forgetting that there is an audience waiting for our voice. But what if we chose to believe in the magic of our individual perspectives, to trust that there are people out there who are yearning to hear the stories that only we can tell, to know that our unique voices, however strange or unconventional they might seem, are capable of touching hearts, changing minds, and creating a lasting impact in the world? What if we chose to write with honesty, with passion, with vulnerability, trusting that the right readers will find us, that our authentic voices will find their rightful audience? It's like a lighthouse, trusting that its light will reach the ships that are meant to be guided by its beam, even across the vast and seemingly empty ocean. The key is to recognize that your voice is unique, that your experiences are valuable, and that your perspective is a gift. There are stories that only you can tell, there are insights that only you can offer, and there are connections that only you can forge with your readers. It is in the power of that uniqueness that you will find the confidence to share your stories. Furthermore, understand that the world is a vast and diverse place, and that there is an audience for every voice, every story, every perspective, no matter how unconventional it may seem. There will always be people who will connect with your work, who will appreciate your unique style, who will understand your perspective, who will feel seen, heard, and understood through your words. It is that deep connection that will give your work its meaning. Trusting that your unique voice will resonate with readers is not about being arrogant or assuming that your work will be universally loved. It's about believing in the power of authentic expression, in the value of your individual perspective, and in the capacity of your stories to touch the hearts and minds of those who are meant to hear them. It's about honoring your inner truth and believing that there is an audience waiting for you. The act of writing with conviction is the greatest gift you can give to your readers. Setting long-term writing goals. Creating a roadmap for future writing projects. Imagine a cartographer, not merely charting the known world, but also sketching out the paths to uncharted territories, mapping out the destinations that lie beyond the horizon, anticipating the adventures that are yet to come. In much the same way, creating a roadmap for future writing projects is about extending your vision beyond the present moment, about dreaming of the stories that you yearn to tell, about sketching out the pathways that will guide your creative journey, and about laying a foundation for a lifetime of writing that is both meaningful and fulfilling. It's about creating a map of your dreams, ensuring that you have a path to take you where you wish to go. Too often, we approach our writing as if it were a series of isolated incidents, a collection of short-term projects, without considering the long-term journey, without planning for the future, and without creating a cohesive vision for the body of work that we wish to create. This lack of planning can lead to a sense of being adrift, to a feeling of being lost in the vast landscape of creative possibility, to a feeling of not having a specific goal to aim for. It's like a traveler who sets out without a destination, wandering aimlessly, never finding their way to a specific place. But what if we chose to approach our writing with a sense of purpose, with a long-term vision, with a commitment to creating a meaningful body of work that reflects our unique voice, our passions, and our creative values? What if we chose to see each project not as an end in itself, but as a step on a larger journey, a part of a more expansive story that we are telling over the course of a lifetime? It's like an architect who doesn't just design one building, but maps out a whole city, ensuring that each structure is both beautiful and functional, and also contributing to the larger whole. The key is to begin by identifying the themes, the ideas, the stories that resonate most deeply with you, the projects that you are most passionate about, the questions that you yearn to explore, and the unique messages that you wish to share with the world. This is the raw material that will form the foundation of your long-term writing journey. It is the core of your personal mythology. Then, take the time to sketch out a roadmap for your future writing projects, creating a plan that will guide your creative choices, inform your decision-making, and help you to stay focused, inspired, and committed to your long-term goals. This roadmap doesn't need to be rigid or inflexible. It's more like a compass, offering a sense of direction, a path to explore while also allowing space for the unpredictable turns your creative spirit might take. This roadmap might include a list of the stories that you want to tell, the themes that you want to explore, the characters that you want to bring to life, and the questions that you want to answer through your work. It might also include a timeline for completing these projects, as well as a plan for how you will develop your skills, expand your knowledge, and hone your voice over the course of your writing journey. It is a way to understand how your path will unfold. Creating a roadmap for future writing projects is not about limiting your creative freedom. It's about providing yourself with a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, and a sense of commitment to a lifelong journey of creative exploration. It is a way of ensuring that the path you travel is one that is truly your own, allowing you to bring your unique vision to life. The role of continuous practice in sustaining confidence. Imagine a marathon runner, not just crossing the finish line, but continuing to train day after day, week after week, month after month, understanding that continuous practice is not merely about maintaining their physical fitness, but about cultivating the mental strength, the unwavering discipline, and the unshakable confidence that will allow them to face any challenge, any race, any obstacle that may come their way. In much the same way, continuous practice is the lifeblood of a writer's confidence, the vital ingredient that sustains their creative fire, sharpens their skills, and deepens their belief in their own unique voice. It's about understanding that confidence is not a destination, but a journey, a continuous act of showing up and honoring the craft. Too often, we approach writing as if it were a destination, a goal to be achieved, a skill to be mastered, rather than a lifelong practice, a continuous journey of growth, learning, and self-discovery. We focus on the outcome, the finished product, the perfect story, rather than on the process, the act of writing itself, the ongoing engagement with our craft, often resulting in a decline in motivation, a loss of momentum, and a fading of the very confidence that we have worked so hard to build. It's like a bird who believes that learning to fly is something that only needs to be done once, forgetting that flying is a daily practice, a constant movement through the air. But what if we chose to embrace writing as a continuous practice, a daily ritual, a commitment to showing up, to engaging with our craft, to honing our skills, and to allowing our creative voices to evolve and grow with each new story that we tell? What if we chose to see writing not as a task to be completed, but as a lifelong journey, a process of continuous learning and growth, a path that we walk each and every day with passion, dedication, and an unwavering belief in our own potential? It's like a gardener tending their garden, not expecting to harvest all the bounty at once, but knowing that it is the constant tending that will lead to a lifelong harvest. Continuous practice provides the very foundation upon which our confidence is built. It's the steady drumbeat that keeps us moving forward, the consistent action that strengthens our creative muscles, the repeated engagement with our craft that deepens our understanding of our unique voice. It's like a river, constantly flowing, carving its path through the landscape, changing the world with its gentle yet powerful persistence. With each act of writing, with each story we tell, with each sentence we craft, we are not only improving our skills, we are also strengthening our belief in our abilities, we are also reaffirming our commitment to our craft, and we are also deepening our connection with our creative selves. This consistent practice creates a feedback loop of confidence and positive reinforcement, strengthening our resolve, igniting our passion, and fueling our desire to continue writing for a lifetime. It is a wheel that turns, building its own forward momentum. Therefore, commit to the journey of continuous practice, knowing that each word written, each story told, each sentence refined, is not only contributing to your growth as a writer, but also strengthening your self-belief, reinforcing your confidence, and creating a path to a lifetime of creative fulfillment. It is in this act of continuous practice that you will find the true measure of your creative power. Setting milestones to track your growth as a writer. Imagine a traveler embarking on a long and arduous journey, not only with a clear destination in mind, but also with a series of carefully placed landmarks along the way, markers that will provide a sense of progress, a measure of achievement, and a source of encouragement to continue the journey, even when the path ahead seems difficult or uncertain. In much the same way, setting milestones to track your growth as a writer is about creating a series of tangible goals, of measurable achievements, that will provide you with a clear sense of progress, a tangible reminder of how far you have come, and a source of motivation to continue on your creative path. It's like leaving a trail of breadcrumbs, marking a clear path that will always lead you back to your own truth. Too often, we approach the writing journey as if it were a single, monolithic task, a long and endless road with no signposts, no markers, no way to measure our progress or to know how far we have traveled, leaving us feeling lost, discouraged, and uncertain about our capacity for growth. This lack of clear milestones can lead to a sense of being overwhelmed, a feeling of not making any real progress, and ultimately, to a loss of faith in our ability to achieve our creative goals. It's like a traveler walking in the desert, without water or signposts, never knowing how close they are to their destination. But what if we chose to approach the writing journey with greater intention, with a clear understanding of the stages of growth, with a series of carefully placed milestones that will not only help us to track our progress, but will also provide us with a sense of accomplishment, a reminder of the dedication we've given to our work, and a source of inspiration that will fuel our continued journey? What if we chose to see these milestones not as a fixed list of accomplishments, but as opportunities for self-reflection, for celebration, and for a renewed sense of commitment to our craft? It's like a gardener marking the growth of their plants, not just with numbers, but with a sense of wonder at the beauty that they have helped to cultivate. The key is to create milestones that are both meaningful and measurable, milestones that are directly related to your individual goals as a writer. These milestones might include completing a certain number of stories, publishing your work in a particular publication, finishing a first draft of your novel, or mastering a particular writing technique. They are not just goals to achieve. They are opportunities to learn and to grow. Furthermore, consider setting milestones that relate to the development of your unique voice, to the refinement of your craft, and to the expansion of your creative vision. These milestones might include experimenting with different narrative perspectives, exploring a particular theme in depth, or mastering a new form of writing. It is through the achievement of these milestones that you will see your creative spirit flourish. When you reach each milestone, take the time to celebrate your progress, to reflect on the lessons that you have learned, to appreciate the growth that you have achieved, and to renew your commitment to the journey ahead. These moments of celebration are not frivolous. They are essential for building your confidence, sustaining your motivation, and fueling your creative spirit. It's like a marathon runner pausing to celebrate each mile marker, drawing strength from the accomplishment and knowing that each step brings them closer to their final goal. These moments of joy will propel you further along your path. By setting milestones to track your growth as a writer, you will not only create a clear path forward, but you will also build a lasting foundation of confidence, self-belief, and a deep appreciation for the journey of creative exploration. Embracing your identity as a writer. Accepting that your voice will evolve over time. Imagine a river, constantly changing its course, its currents shifting, its banks reshaping, its waters carving new paths through the landscape, always in motion, always adapting to the forces that shape its journey. In much the same way, accepting that your voice will evolve over time is about embracing the dynamic nature of the creative process, about acknowledging that your perspective will shift, your skills will grow, and your unique way of expressing yourself will change as you continue on your journey as a writer. It is not about clinging to a fixed identity, but about allowing your creative spirit the freedom to explore, to experiment, and to grow with the passing of time, knowing that it is this growth that will make you stronger, more resilient, and more powerfully authentic. Too often, we cling to a rigid sense of self, a fixed identity as a writer, fearing that if we change, if our voices evolve, if our perspectives shift, we will somehow lose our authenticity, that we will no longer be recognizable as ourselves. We become so attached to the way we were that we fear changing into who we might become, that we forget that growth is an essential part of the creative journey. It's like a tree that refuses to bend in the wind, believing that change is a sign of weakness, ultimately breaking under the pressure, unable to adapt to the shifting seasons. But what if we chose to embrace the fluidity of the creative process, to allow our voices to evolve naturally, to welcome the changes that come with experience, with learning, with growth, with a willingness to explore new territories of our imagination? What if we chose to see our writing journey not as a destination, but as a continuous process of becoming, as an ongoing dance of change, adaptation, and self-discovery? It's like a dancer, not fearing the passage of time, but knowing that each performance, each new step, each new movement will allow them to grow, to evolve, and to express themselves with greater depth and precision. The key is to understand that your voice is not a static entity, but a living, breathing force that is constantly shaped by your experiences, your relationships, your readings, your discoveries, and all the moments of wonder and change that life brings to you. It's a dynamic force that will shift with your perspective, grow with your experiences, and deepen with your own personal mythology. Furthermore, recognize that the changes in your voice are not a sign of weakness or a loss of authenticity, but rather a sign of growth, a reflection of the unique journey that you are on, a testament to the courage you have had to keep pushing forward. It is in these changes that you will find the richness and the depth of your unique identity as a writer. Embracing the evolution of your voice is not about abandoning what makes you unique. It's about allowing your individuality to grow, to expand, and to become more fully realized with each new story you tell, each new lesson that you learn, and each new experience that you embrace. It's about trusting the journey, allowing the current of change to guide you, and embracing the unknown as a source of growth and creativity. It is in this acceptance that your voice will find its true, lasting power. How your personal experiences continue to shape your writing. Imagine a tapestry, woven with threads of different colors, different textures, different patterns, each strand representing a unique experience, a personal memory, a moment of joy, a moment of sorrow, all coming together to create a work of art that is both complex and beautiful. In much the same way, your personal experiences are the threads that weave together the tapestry of your writing, shaping your voice, coloring your perspective, and providing the raw material for the stories that you yearn to tell. It's not just about what you write, but about how your experiences have formed you, how they have shaped your understanding of the world, and how they will ultimately give your writing its unique and undeniable power. Too often, we separate ourselves from our work, believing that our personal lives, our individual experiences, are somehow separate from our creative endeavors, fearing that if we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, if we allow our personal stories to infuse our writing, we will somehow lose our objectivity, that we will no longer be seen as serious writers, and that our work will be diminished by the inclusion of our own human struggles, our personal truths, and our unique emotional landscape. This fear is like a painter who believes that their personal life will somehow taint their colors, forgetting that it is those experiences that will bring the real life to their art. But what if we chose to embrace our personal experiences, to see them not as a liability, but as a valuable asset, a source of inspiration, a wellspring of creativity that will inform our unique perspective, deepen our understanding of human nature, and give our stories an authenticity that will resonate with our readers? What if we chose to see our lives not as a separate entity, but as an integral part of our creative journey, the very ground from which our writing will blossom, the very lifeblood that will fuel our artistic endeavors? It's like a musician understanding that the joys, the sorrows, the heartbreaks, and the triumphs they have experienced will ultimately become the songs they play. Your personal experiences, the places you have lived, the people you have known, the emotions you have felt, the challenges you have overcome, all these threads will weave together to create the unique tapestry of your writing. It's not just about the grand, dramatic events, but also about the quiet, everyday moments, the small, seemingly insignificant details that can reveal so much about the human condition. It's in those small moments that truth is often found. Furthermore, understand that it is in our imperfections, in our vulnerabilities, in our human struggles that we connect most deeply with our readers. When you allow yourself to be honest, when you share your personal truths, when you reveal the core of your being, your writing will take on a new level of authenticity, a greater sense of intimacy, and a more lasting power. It's like a storyteller not afraid to reveal their own scars, knowing that their vulnerability will draw their listeners closer. Your personal experiences are not static. They are a dynamic and ever-evolving force that will continue to shape your writing throughout your life. Embrace the journey. Allow your experiences to guide your hand, and trust that your stories will become all the more powerful, all the more resonant, and all the more uniquely yours because of the life that you have lived. It is in these life experiences that your voice will continue to find its strength. Writing with pride and confidence in your unique style. Imagine a star burning brightly in the night sky, its light reaching across vast distances, its presence undeniable, its brilliance illuminating the darkness. In much the same way, writing with pride and confidence in your unique style is about embracing the authenticity of your creative voice, about recognizing the value of your individual perspective, about believing in the power of your stories to touch hearts and change minds, and about sharing your unique gifts with the world without hesitation, without apology, without fear. It is about accepting your identity as a writer and allowing your light to shine. Too often, we approach our writing with a sense of timidity, with a lack of confidence, with a feeling of inadequacy, doubting the value of our unique perspectives, fearing the judgment of others, and hiding our voices in the shadows. We become so focused on trying to please everyone, on trying to conform to some imagined standard of good writing, that we lose sight of the unique magic that we are capable of creating, the original spark that makes our work our own, and that brings light to the stories that only we can tell. This lack of confidence is like a star that hides its light, allowing the darkness to prevail. But what if we chose to embrace our power, to own our unique style, to believe in the value of our individual perspectives, and to share our stories with pride and confidence, knowing that the world needs to hear the voices that only we can bring to the page? What if we chose to see our writing not as a burden, but as a gift, a source of joy, an opportunity to connect with others on a deeply human level, and as a chance to leave a lasting legacy through the power of our words? It's like a musician, finally taking center stage, ready to share their soul with the world, their music soaring, their spirit unburdened, their belief in the power of their unique voice carrying them through every note. The key is to understand that your voice is a unique and valuable gift, that your style is your signature, that your stories have the power to move, to inspire, and to transform. It is in owning your power that you will find the freedom to write with confidence. Furthermore, recognize that your creative journey is not about perfection. It's about authenticity, about honesty, about vulnerability, and about allowing your unique voice to shine through, flaws and all. It's about writing from the heart, with passion, with courage, and with an unwavering belief in the value of your unique expression. It is in the act of showing up, in the courage to be seen, that you will find the true measure of your creative power. Therefore, write with pride, with confidence, with the unwavering belief that your unique voice is a gift that the world needs to hear. Embrace the beauty of your individuality, celebrate your strengths, honor your perspective, and allow your stories to take flight, soaring through the vast landscape of human experience, connecting with the hearts and minds of those who are meant to be touched by your words, leaving an echo that will resonate long after the final sentence has been written. Embrace the power of your unique style and allow yourself to truly shine. This concludes our journey. I wish you all the best as you create the stories that only you can tell. Conclusion. Imagine a vast, star-strewn sky. Each point of light a different voice, a different story, a different perspective, all shimmering with their own unique brilliance, contributing to the breathtaking beauty of the cosmos. In much the same way, The journey of finding your unique writing voice is not an end, but a beginning, a journey of self-discovery, a pathway to creative freedom, and an invitation to join the chorus of storytellers who have come before you, adding your own unique melody to the grand symphony of human expression. It is in your authentic voice that you will find your power, your joy, and the lasting impact that you will make on the world. This journey, like any worthy quest, is not without its challenges, its moments of doubt, its unexpected detours, and its occasional moments of darkness. There will be times when you will question your abilities, when you will compare yourself to others, when you will fear the judgment of those who do not understand the power of your unique vision. There will be times when you will feel lost, alone, and unsure of the path that lies ahead. But in those moments, remember the lessons you have learned, the strength that you have gained, and the beauty of the voice that you have discovered along the way. Remember that your unique voice is a gift, a treasure that is worthy of being protected, nurtured, and shared with the world. Do not try to be someone else. Do not try to imitate the voices of others, but instead, embrace the authenticity of your own creative spirit, the unique rhythm of your own heart, the singular melody of your own soul. It is in this authenticity that you will find your strength and the lasting impact that you will have upon the hearts of those who read your work. The journey of finding your voice is not a destination. It's a continuous process, a lifelong exploration of the boundless territories of your imagination, a constant journey of growth, discovery, and transformation. Allow your voice to evolve, to shift, to grow with your experiences, to deepen with your passions, to take flight with your dreams. Let your voice be the guiding star that leads you through the darkness, the light that illuminates your path, and the beacon that calls to the readers who were meant to hear your unique music. So, go forth, my friend, with courage, with confidence, with unwavering belief in the power of your unique voice. Embrace the journey, celebrate the process, and share your stories with the world, knowing that it is in the authenticity of your expression that you will touch hearts, change minds, and leave a lasting legacy that will echo through the ages. The world is waiting to hear the stories that only you can tell. Let them fly. We hope that you enjoyed this book. We would really appreciate if you could take a couple of minutes to leave us a review on Amazon. Thank you again from all of us at Purple Fox Publications.